You've been lied to. The Great Pyramid wasn't built by slaves with copper chisels. There's no mummy inside, no royal treasure, and no real evidence the pharaoh they say built it actually did. So if none of that is true, then who built it? How? And why has someone gone to such lengths to hide the truth for 5,000 years? What if the answers aren't lost, just buried by the very people trusted to protect them, from hidden doors never opened, to technology we can't replicate even today? Tonight, we're not just exploring a monument, we're uncovering a cover-up. And once you hear what's been discovered beneath Egypt's sand, you'll never see history the same again. Silent construction legend. What if the pyramid wasn't built by Khufu at all? Think about that for a moment. Everything we've been told, every history book, every school lesson, every tour guide speech has repeated the same idea. That Pharaoh Kufu, also known as Khufu, ordered the building of the Great Pyramid at Giza around 4,500 years ago, that it was his tomb, that thousands of workers spent 2 decades hauling millions of stones up ramps in the desert heat using only ropes, copper tools, and human grit. But here's the thing, what if that entire story is just a guess? A comfortable story repeated so many times we stopped asking if it was true. Imagine standing at the base of that enormous structure and realizing there is no direct proof that Khufu built it. His name appears only once, deep in a hidden chamber, scribbled in red paint. No grand inscription, no official declaration, not even a single mural showing him building it. Isn't that strange for a ruler said to have commissioned one of the most ambitious projects in human history? If you've ever visited a monument in your town or walked past a statue, you know how proud leaders are of being remembered. Their names are everywhere, but here nothing. Could this mean we've misunderstood everything? Or worse, ignored clues that never fit the official story? Let me know in the comments if you've ever visited the pyramids or read something that made you pause and wonder, did something feel missing? Were you told only one version of events? Let's step back and think of something simple, like school exams. You can study for weeks, and still your teacher may misgrade you, or a friend tells you a story about someone you never met, and over time, you believe it as fact, because you trust the teller, not the details. The same might be true here. Most people haven't seen the inside of the pyramid. They just trust what they've been told. But deep inside that monument, in the silence of stone and shadow, things don't add up. There's no writing, no artwork, no signs of royal ceremony, not even a trace of a burial. It's like walking into an empty room that everyone swears was once filled with gold. And here's the twist. Many of the so-called facts we believe are built on theories, not hard evidence. That doesn't make them lies, makes them fragile. And when something's fragile, even a whisper of doubt can cause it to break. So why would this story be protected so tightly? Maybe it's because the truth is unknown. And when we don't know something, we like to fill the space with stories that feel safe. But what if those stories are hiding something far more mysterious? Some experts say the pyramid's design is too advanced for its time. Its base is almost perfectly level. Its sides align with the cardinal directions with incredible precision. And inside are stones weighing up to 80 tons, cut so smoothly they seem machined. Could workers using only primitive tools really have achieved that? Or were they using knowledge we've forgotten or perhaps never understood in the first place? Think about when your phone glitches or your computer freezes. Most of us don't understand how these things work. We just use them. So what if the Ancient builders used tools or techniques we can't explain now, just because we lost that knowledge somewhere in time. That leads us to something deeper. Our belief in what is ancient often tells us more about today than about the past. We like to think of history as a straight line. First cavemen, then pyramids, then skyscrapers. But what if it's not a line? What if it's a loop, or a spiral, or something more complex? Maybe the past isn't behind us. Maybe it's beneath us, still buried, still waiting. And maybe the story of who built the pyramid and why has less to do with kings and more to do with something we're still not ready to understand. Something timeless, something that challenges what we believe about knowledge, power, and memory itself. It's the kind of mystery that doesn't just sit in a museum, it walks into your thoughts late at night and whispers, "What if everything is upside down?" I know this might sound unbelievable, but sometimes the most unbelievable things are the ones hiding in plain sight. So, as we explore more of these forgotten truths, stay curious, stay open, and if you found this thought interesting, give it a like and share your thoughts below. Have you ever read something or seen something that made you question what you've always believed? Let's unravel these puzzles together, one layer at a time. Because sometimes the most ancient secrets aren't in the sand, they're in the silence. Tool time paradox. What if the tools we've been told built the Great Pyramid couldn't even scratch its stones? That's not just a strange thought till it's a serious problem. The official story says copper chisels, wooden sleds, and sheer manpower shaped one of the most precise structures in human history. But if you've ever tried carving into hard rock with a kitchen knife, or even just scratched a stone with a coin, you know something doesn't add up. The blocks used in the pyramid, especially the granite ones deep inside, are incredibly hard. Copper, on the other hand, is soft, softer than your house key. So how exactly did workers thousands of years ago create razor-straight lines, smooth, drill holes, and seams so tight you can't slide a paper between them? It's like being told someone carved a diamond using a spoon. You want to believe it, but your mind says, "Wait, that's not possible. Let's bring it closer to home." Think about when you try to open a stubborn jar lid. You twist, struggle, maybe even tap it on the counter. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Now imagine trying to cut through granite with a chisel made of copper. That's not a twist and it works moment. That's hours of sparks, dents, and frustration, and almost no progress. In fact, when modern researchers tried to test this theory, the tools broke down fast. The cuts barely scratched the surface, and the result, exhausted teams, worn-out tools, and very few answers. So how did ancient builders do what we can't even repeat today? Some say they must have had help though, with knowledge we've forgotten, or with techniques never written down. Either way, it makes you wonder, are we missing a piece of the story? If you've ever visited a construction site or watched people work with stone, you know precision takes more than effort. It takes planning, tools that are stronger than the material itself, and the ability to repeat the same thing perfectly over and over again. Yet inside the Great Pyramid, we see long, straight tunnels, polished stone walls, and perfectly squared blocks, no wobbles, no rough edges, no room for error. Could it be that these ancient builders weren't just strong, they were smart in a way we've underestimated? And could their knowledge have come from somewhere else? Maybe it was passed down. Maybe it was discovered and then lost. But whatever it was, it seems more advanced than we've been willing to admit. This opens the door to a bigger thought. What if the timeline of human progress isn't as simple as we think? In school, we're taught that tools improved over timestone. 2 bronze, 2 iron, 2 machines. But here, we have something that doesn't fit. If ancient people could achieve what we can't even copy with all our modern tech, does that mean we've forgotten something? Or that they knew something we never figured out? Sometimes the greatest discoveries don't come from new inventions. They come from asking old questions in a new way. And this is one of those questions. How can soft tools leave marks on hard stone? Now imagine standing in front of one of those giant granite blocks. You run your hand across its surface. It's cool, smooth, and flawless. You try to imagine someone carving it with a copper chisel, and suddenly it feels like trying to believe in a magic trick you just saw. You saw it happen, but you don't know how. And that's the feeling many researchers have when they study these ancient stones. It's not disbelief, it's curiosity. A kind of quiet realization that maybe there's more to this story than we've been told. This paradox also touches something deeper inside us. Our need to explain things, to feel like we have the answers. It's like when you see patterns in the clouds or faces in the dark, you want things to make sense. You want to believe that people, even thousands of years ago, solved problems just like we do. But sometimes their answers feel out of reach, not because they were impossible, but because they thought in ways we'd forgotten. Maybe their focus was different. Maybe they built not for function, but for meaning. And maybe we're trying to solve a puzzle using the wrong pieces. If this kind of mystery pulls at your thoughts, you're not alone. Let me know in the comments what you think happened. Have you ever seen something, an old building, a carved statue, or even a handmade object, and thought, how did they do that? Let's share those stories. Because sometimes sharing what puzzles us brings us closer to understanding. And if you're enjoying these quiet but powerful explorations into ancient questions, consider liking this video and subscribing for more. There's still so much to uncover. The deeper we go, the more fascinating it becomes. Because in the end, the real story of the pyramids might not just be about stones and tools. It might be about how we see time, knowledge, and what humans are truly capable of when we think, not just with hands, but with imagination. Noma Pharaoh tomb. You'd expect the most iconic pyramid in the world to contain something truly royal. A golden coffin, grand carvings, inscriptions of power. Maybe even the mummy of the king himself. But what if I told you that inside the Great Pyramid of Giza, there's none of that? Not a single royal symbol, not a single word praising the pharaoh, not even a body. For something that's supposed to be a tomb for a great ruler, it feels strangely empty. No one really talks about that. But this is one of the most puzzling parts of the entire pyramid mystery. A structure so massive, so perfectly built, and yet, when you go inside, it gives you silence, not celebration. No treasures, no written story, no clear sign that a king was ever laid to rest there. Doesn't that make you stop and wonder, was it really a tomb? Or have we misunderstood its purpose from the very beginning? Now, think of it like this. If someone built a mansion and told you it was for their wedding, but inside there were no flowers, no photos, no guests, no leftover cake, and not even a wedding dress, would you still believe them? You'd probably ask, wait, did the wedding even happen here? That's the same feeling many visitors and researchers get when they step inside the Great Pyramid. They walk into a place that should feel like a royal resting ground, but instead it feels more like a shell, like something that once had a purpose we no longer understand, or maybe something that never matched the story we were told. If you've ever visited an old place, maybe an ancient fort or a deserted palace, you know the feeling. Some spaces are filled with echoes of the past. You can almost hear the people, feel their presence. But the pyramid doesn't feel like that. It's quiet, still, and strangely plain. Most Egyptian tombs are filled with art scenes of the afterlife, gods and symbols carved in detail, hieroglyphs everywhere telling the story of the person buried there. But the Great Pyramid, it's bare, the walls are empty, and that's not just strange, it's completely out of place for a royal tomb built by a pharaoh. This absence makes us ask a bigger question. What if the pyramid wasn't a tomb at all? What if we'd forced an idea onto a structure that was never meant to carry it? And why does this matter? Because it reminds us how easy it is to accept a story just because it's been repeated for centuries. But repetition doesn't equal truth. And if this one piece of the puzzle is wrong, how many others could be too? Let's connect it to something simple. Think about someone you know who always keeps things tidy. You visit their room or office, and everything is labeled, organized, clean. Now imagine that person builds something very special, like a vault or a memorial. Would they forget to leave a name, a symbol, a single sign of what it's for? Probably not. So if the Egyptians, known for their attention to spiritual detail, built a tomb this grand, how could they forget to say who it was for? Or maybe they didn't forget. Maybe they never intended it to be a tomb in the first place. And here's where things get interesting. Some researchers believe that calling it a tomb was just the easiest explanation. Over time, the real purpose got lost. Maybe it was a power station. Maybe it was a place of spiritual energy. Or maybe it was something completely outside our current understanding. But one thing is clear: if it were truly a pharaoh's final resting place, we should see the signs, and we don't. This kind of mystery also connects to how we deal with the unknown in life. Sometimes, when we can't explain something, we attach a label just to feel better, like calling unexplained feelings just stress, or saying a strange dream was just random. We want the world to feel organized, safe, but the truth is, not everything fits into neat little boxes. And maybe the pyramid is one of those things. Maybe it was never meant to be understood by the people who came after. So here's a quiet thought. What if the pyramid wasn't built to be remembered, but to remember something else? Something long gone. A message, a code, or a moment in time, locked away behind stone. And we're just standing outside, wondering what's really inside, hoping for clues that no longer speak our language. If you've ever felt that pull toward a place or a story that doesn't fully make sense, you're not alone. Let me know in the comments. Have you ever been somewhere that felt mysterious in a way you couldn't explain? Or read something in history that made you question everything you were taught? Let's share those quiet questions. They matter. And if this story stirred something in you, give it a like and consider subscribing, because we're only beginning to look beneath the surface. And sometimes, what's missing tells the real story more than what's there. Mystery gatekeeper. What if one person had the power to decide what truths the world can know and what must stay buried forever? In the story of Egypt's ancient wonders, one name keeps appearing again and again, standing like a locked door between the past and the present. Dr. Zahi. For decades, every time someone wanted to dig a little deeper, explore a strange chamber, or ask the questions no one else dared to ask, they had to go through him. One man guarding the gates to a civilization that shaped the world. And here's the part that makes people lean in. He didn't just watch over ancient artifacts. He controlled who could even look. Now ask yourself, if you had the keys to a treasure room filled with forgotten secrets, would you open it for everyone, or only a chosen few? This isn't about blaming or accusing. It's about curiosity, about understanding how one person, even with good intentions, can shape the entire direction of history. We all know what it's like to want answers and be told no. Whether it was in school, at work, or in personal relationships, you've probably felt that quiet frustration. The feeling of standing at the edge of something important and not being allowed to cross. That's the feeling many independent researchers describe when they talk about trying to explore Egypt's untouched spaces. And often, the final no came from Dr. Hoyes. His defenders say he's protecting Egypt's heritage, that he's simply guarding treasures from damage or false claims. And that might be true in part. But the real question is, who decides? What counts as a worthy discovery? What if a new idea threatens the old ones? What if someone uncovers something that doesn't fit the accepted timeline? Should that still be hidden just because it's uncomfortable? It's like this. Imagine a school that teaches the same history book for 50 years. Students memorize dates, names, and events. Then one student brings in a dusty scroll that tells a different version of the past. What should the teacher do? Toss it aside, or allow the class to ask new questions? In Egypt, the pyramids, the Sphinx, and other monuments are more than just stones. They're symbols of pride, identity, and deep cultural meaning. That makes them sacred, but also sensitive. And sometimes, when something becomes too sacred, people stop asking questions. They accept the story, even if it doesn't quite add up. This is where Dr. House comes in, as Egypt's top official. In archaeology for years, he didn't just manage excavations. He decided which stories reached the public. He gave out permits. He shut down research he didn't support. And sometimes, just when new discoveries were about to break through, the door was quietly closed again. That kind of control can be powerful and dangerous, because when only one voice shapes a narrative, others get silenced, not just individuals, but possibilities. People wonder, why not allow more open exploration? Why stop teams from scanning hidden chambers or testing ancient materials? These aren't just tourist trips, these are efforts to solve one of history's greatest puzzles. Could it be that we're afraid of the answers? That if we dig too deep, we might discover something that rewrites everything? In relationships, it's like avoiding a hard conversation because you know it might change how you see someone. It's easier to keep the peace than to face the truth. But growth comes from honesty, and history should work the same way. Still, the world changes, and people ask more questions now. YouTube videos, blogs, documentaries, ordinary people, not just experts, are paying attention. They want to know why certain chambers remain sealed, why strange alignments and impossible engineering feats are ignored, why names and theories outside the approved list are pushed aside. And when they look for answers, they find one man at the center of it, Dr. Howes. If you've ever felt curious about something and been told, that's not for you to know, then you understand this feeling, the sense that the truth is just beyond your reach, not because it's too complex, but because someone decided you're not allowed to see it. And that creates a kind of mystery that pulls you in even deeper. Let's open it up. Have you ever read about something in history that didn't quite sit right with you? Or noticed how some facts are repeated often, while others are quietly skipped. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Whether you're watching from Egypt, Europe, or anywhere in between, your questions matter. They help create a bigger picture, and sometimes the puzzle can't be solved without every piece, even the strange ones. If you find this journey into hidden history as fascinating as we do, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. We're not here to tear down stories, we're here to ask the questions that history sometimes forgets. Because the truth might not be lost. It might just be locked behind a door, waiting for the right moment and the right people to open it. Challenged access block. You're just about to open a door. Behind it might be something that could change how we understand the world. You feel the weight of possibility, excitement, maybe even fear. But just as your hand reaches for the handle, someone steps in and says, "Stop. You're not allowed." That's exactly what has happened again and again to independent researchers exploring Egypt's greatest mysteries. Every time they get close to a discovery, something unusual, something unexplainable, access is denied. Permits are pulled, projects are shut down, and the world is left wondering why. It's frustrating, isn't it? Like studying hard for an exam, preparing everything perfectly, and then being told you can't even enter the classroom. It doesn't just feel unfair, it feels personal. Many of these researchers aren't just guessing. They've spent years developing methods, gathering data, following clues others have ignored. Yet when they bring something new to the table, they're often turned away, blocked, silenced. This isn't just about ancient stones, it's about how we treat curiosity and whether we allow new ideas to breathe. Let's take a step back and think about it simply. Imagine if you had a neighbor who never let anyone into their backyard. People would naturally get curious, especially if the neighbor kept building walls, locking gates, and saying, "There's nothing to see here." But at the same time, you notice strange lights at night, or hear things no one else talks about. The more they push people away, the more your imagination starts to wonder what's really going on back there. That's how it feels when researchers ask to examine hidden chambers inside the pyramids, or test unusual stone patterns, or redate monuments using new science. Every time they face red tape, bureaucracy, sometimes even personal attacks on their character, and yet what they're asking for isn't unreasonable. They're not trying to harm history, they're trying to understand it. And that's what makes the shut doors so strange. Because if everything is as simple and explained as officials say, what's the harm in letting people take a closer look? There's a deep human fear in this, the fear of being wrong. Think about it. If you've always believed one thing, it's hard to admit that something else might be true. We see this in relationships, in debates, in how we view ourselves. It takes courage to say, maybe I missed something. But history isn't about being right, it's about seeking truth. And truth doesn't mind being tested. In fact, it welcomes it. So when people stop others from exploring, it starts to look like they're not protecting truth, they're protecting control. And it's not just one case. Time after time, researchers have approached the gates of discovery, only to find them locked. A robotic camera is sent into a shaft in the Great Pyramid, finds a mysterious stone door with metal handles, something no one expected. But the project is immediately shut down. Years later, another team returns with new tools, drills a small hole, and finds another sealed stone door behind the first. Then silence. No further exploration allowed. No clear reason given. Just a pause that never ends. This silence echoes louder than any answer. And people notice. Videos are made. Articles are written. But the gates remain closed. So we ask again, why? If there's nothing unusual, then letting researchers in should be easy. But if there is something that might shift how we view the ancient world, then the fear becomes clearer. Because letting it out could mean rewriting everything. Not just textbooks, but entire belief systems. Have you ever experienced this in your own life? A time when you tried to ask a hard question or follow your own path and someone tried to stop you, not with a good reason, but with rules, titles, or fear. If you have, you understand how these researchers feel. It's not about being famous. It's not about money. It's about the quiet passion for knowing more, for seeing what lies beneath the surface. And when that passion is blocked, it doesn't disappear. It burns hotter. So let's talk about it. If you've heard of strange discoveries that were never followed up, or if you know about other ancient sites that raise similar questions, share them in the comments. This is how we build a real conversation, not just facts and theories, but experiences, connections, wonder, because curiosity is something we all share, no matter where we're from. And if this story stirred something in you, a feeling that there's more out there waiting to be found, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. We're not here to shout answers. We're here to ask better questions, together, because maybe one day one of us will be the one who finally turns the handle and finds that the door was never locked to begin with. Hidden chamber door. The moment you set eyes on that smooth, unbroken limestone slab tucked high in the Queen's chamber, you feel a pull, a door that has never been opened, guarding a secret no one has yet revealed. Over a century ago, explorers first noticed this mysterious stone with two tiny copper handles carved into it, set like silent guardians of a passage that leads nobody knows where. Every attempt to peer beyond has been met with resistance. Cameras blocked, permits denied, and the door left untouched in its dusty alcove. It's like arriving at a party just as someone closes the door behind you, leaving you outside in the hallway, straining to hear the music on the other side. If you've ever stood at a boundary you couldn't cross, locked gate to your childhood home, a final page in a book you refused to read, then you know that ache of curiosity. That ache calls to mind the everyday moments when something small is just beyond reach. The cookie jar perched out of arm's length, the secret recipe your grandmother never wrote down, the text you almost hit send on but didn't. These tiny mysteries tug at us, inviting us to wonder not just about the door itself, but about everything it might hold, a hidden chamber full of treasures, forgotten knowledge, or perhaps nothing at all. And that nothing would still be something, because it would tell us how the pyramid was used, who built it, and why. When researchers first drilled a small hole through the door in 1993, they found a second slab behind it, perfectly aligned, and equally sealed, as though two locks were placed one after the other to keep that space truly hidden. No hieroglyphs explain the reason. No record describes what lies beyond. It's almost as if the builders knew future generations would try to uncover their work and wanted to test their resolve. This silent challenge echoes something deeper in all of us, our own hidden rooms of memory and emotion that we lock away, for fear of facing them. Think of a moment when you held back a truth in a conversation, worried about what you'd find if you spoke it aloud. You've built your own sealed passage there, and only you know the weight of what rests behind it. In psychology, therapists talk about the inner door that opens to self-discovery, how sometimes we need a safe guide to help us unlock the hidden parts of our mind. The sealed stone door in the pyramid is a physical reminder that some doors only open when the time is right, when we're ready to face what's inside. It also touches on the power of belief. Some visitors whisper that only a chosen few will ever be permitted to cross that threshold. Others say the door itself is a rite of passage, a barrier that tests whether we truly desire knowledge more than comfort. In language, we speak of doorways of perception, moments when a new idea breaks through our old understanding and changes how we see everything. The Queen's chamber door brings that metaphor to life in stone. It asks us to consider what we believe we deserve to know and what we fear discovering. Even in technology, we create firewalls and encrypted files to guard our secrets, digital doors that require keys we often lose or forget. Yet no software, no code, no password can match the silence of that limestone slab. It stands in the heart of a monument built to last for eternity, daring us to ask why people put it there in the first place. If you've ever felt the pull of a hidden doorway in your own life, question you couldn't ask, a memory you couldn't unlock, share your story in the comments below. Let us know where you felt that same hush of mystery, because this community was built for curiosity. It thrives on the stories we share, the questions we pose, and the quiet courage it takes to keep seeking answers. And if this tale of the sealed chamber stirs your desire to explore more of history's silent corridors, please tap the like button and subscribe. We'll continue walking those hidden paths together, one locked door at a time. Muan, Void Discovery. What if the most famous monument on Earth still holds a secret the world only just learned about? In 2017, scientists using Moine radiography, a technique that tracks cosmic particles passing through rock, announced they had found a vast hidden chamber inside the Great Pyramid, a space as big as the Grand Gallery that nobody knew was there. You can picture yourself in that moment, watching the data come in, expecting only the familiar corridors and known chambers, and suddenly seeing a blank spot appear on the map, like finding an empty room in your own home you never noticed before. It's the same feeling you might have when you open a drawer you thought was empty but discover an old photograph or a forgotten keepsake. Proof that there's more beneath the surface than you ever realized. And here, in the pyramid, that blank space could hold untold treasures, lost scrolls, or simply the echoes of builders who left no record of their work. If you've ever stumbled onto a hidden corner in an old house and wondered what stories it held, share that experience below and where you were. Because moments like these remind us how easily the past can slip through our fingers. The discovery itself was gentle yet profound. Teams from France and Japan carefully positioned muon detectors around the pyramid's base, waited for cosmic rays to trickle through the stones, and watched as a faint shadow appeared behind the limestone blocks. It wasn't a dramatic cave-in or a sudden blast of light, but a subtle anomaly, fewer muons than expected, indicating the presence of an empty void. It felt like listening for a heartbeat in a silent room and hearing a pause that tells you someone is still alive. When I think of everyday life, it reminds me of those times when I check my phone for a message I know should be there, tap the screen again and again, and finally realize I never hit send. That moment of pause tells the real story. And just as that missing message can shift the course of a conversation, this missing chamber shifts everything we know about the pyramid's design and purpose. For centuries, archaeologists believed they had mapped the entire interior. They measured angles, studied hieroglyphs, and debated theories. but they never imagined a space of this size could remain hidden. That speaks to a larger truth. Even the most familiar places can surprise us. In relationships, we think we know someone until we learn a detail that changes how we understand them. A friend might reveal a childhood secret, and suddenly every shared story takes on new meaning. The pyramid's architects may have intended this void to stay undiscovered, a hidden message for those who dared to look deeper. Or perhaps it was purely functionally relieving, chamber to ease weight on lower levels. Then the builders never thought to document it. Either way, it shows how assumptions can blind us, whether we're exploring ancient stone or navigating our own histories. This finding also touches belief. We trust experts to show us the way. We rely on textbooks, documentaries, guided tours. But when experts admit they don't have all the answers, it opens a space for wonder rather than fear. It reminds me of hearing my favorite teacher say, "I'm not sure," during a lecture, a moment that felt strange at first, but then sparked more questions and deeper learning. It's the humility to say, "We don't know everything," that drives discovery forward. And it's exactly that humility that led to the Moyne scan, blending cutting-edge physics with ancient history in a way that no one expected. Even language struggles to capture this. We talk about hidden depths or unseen forces, but those can feel like cliches until you see the data yourself. A blank space on a scan becomes a real place you want to visit, to map, to explore. In mental health, therapists encourage us to listen for the pauses in our thoughts, the silent spaces between worries, where insights often dwell. The pyramid's void is like a silent space in the stone, inviting us to pause our assumptions and listen more closely to what history might still have to tell us. Artificial intelligence now tries to fill in missing data, to predict patterns from incomplete information. But AI can only work with the data we feed it. If we never scan that pyramid, we never know to ask the question, and even AI would stumble when faced with a blank spot so large and so unexpected. It's a reminder that technology, no matter how advanced, still depends on human curiosity to point it in the right direction. The scientists who used Moyne detectors listened to the pyramid's hidden signals, guiding technology to do what our eyes and tape measures could not. As the world hears about this hidden chamber, plans emerge to study it further without drilling or damage. That balance between exploration and preservation mirrors how we navigate our own inner worlds, how we seek new experiences while protecting the fragile spaces of our hearts. We want to know more, but we also want to honor what's already there. If you've ever hesitated before raising a difficult question in a conversation, worrying about the impact, but driven by curiosity, you know that same tension. And you know how relief washes over you when the truth finally emerges, even if it changes everything you thought you knew. The Muan void is more than a cool scientific fact. It's a beacon for all seekers, showing us that the past isn't a closed book. It's a living puzzle with blank pages waiting for our scans, our questions, and our courage. If this discovery stirs something in you feel your own hidden chambers calling for light, share it below. Tell us about the places you've uncovered, the stories you've revealed, the doors you've finally opened after years of wandering. And if you find peace and wonder in these gentle explorations of ancient mysteries, please tap like and subscribe, because as long as there are hidden spaces to discover, we'll keep shining our moonbeams into the dark, one blank page at a time. Engineered perfection north. What if the builders of the Great Pyramid could point to the four corners of the earth with such exactness that modern GPS devices would nod in approval. At Giza, the pyramid's sides align almost perfectly with true north, deviating by less than 1/20th of a degree in accuracy that staggers even today's engineers. Picture yourself lost in a dense forest without a compass, guessing north by sun or stars. And yet these ancient architects managed to orient a 760-foot-tall structure with a precision few modern buildings achieve. That realization should make us pause and wonder, how did they do it, and why does this matter? If you've ever used a map app in your phone and watched it recalibrate when you shift just a few feet, you know how hard it is to get directions right. So imagine doing this in 2500 BC, with no satellite signals, no modern instruments, just sky, horizon, and perhaps an unspoken knowledge of geometry and astronomy passed down through generations. This uncanny alignment becomes even more remarkable when you compare it to our own attempts. Architects today use lasers, gyroscopes, and computerized theodolites to achieve within seconds of arc. Those tools take hours to set up, calibrate, and adjust. They work well under clear conditions, with power sources and stable ground. In contrast, the pyramid's builders worked in desert heat, with shifting sands and no reliable landmarks beyond the endless horizon. Yet they laid out a perfect square whose sides face north, south, east, and west so accurately that even the most advanced observatories struggle to match it. It helps to think of everyday examples. Maybe you've drawn a straight line between 2 points on a page, freehand, and noticed how your line wavers, how small tremors of the hand create subtle curves. Or you've tried to park a car precisely between 2 lines in a tight spot. No matter how careful, you end up a little off. It's human nature to introduce error, but the ancient Egyptians seem to have found a way to transcend that error, relying on methods we still debate, tracking the circumpolar stars, using water-filled trenches as level references, or marking shadows cast by a gnomon at dawn and dusk. Each theory feels plausible, and yet none fully explains the degree of accuracy achieved. That mystery echoes broader questions about the nature of knowledge. We tend to think of ancient cultures as primitive in technology, advanced in ritual. But here, they display mastery of both rituals, of orientation that speak to a sophisticated understanding of the heavens. It bridges belief and science. Observing stars isn't just for eyes, it's for hearts seeking order in the cosmos. We see the same in our own lives when a gentle ritual calms anxiety, a cup of tea brewed just so, or a daily walk at sunrise that sets our internal compass. These small acts orient us emotionally, much like the pyramid orients physically. In language, we talk about standing grounded, keeping our bearings, and finding true north when we mean finding purpose. The pyramid literalizes that metaphor in limestone and granite. It beckons us to consider our own alignment, how we set our lives by inner stars, by values that guide us when everything else seems to shift. Even in AI, engineers design algorithms to minimize error and correct drift, creating systems that learn from feedback to maintain precise performance. Yet no algorithm can replace the human awe in standing before a monument so steadfast in its orientation that it still points true after 4.5 millennia. If you've ever felt lost in life, unsure of your direction, or stumbled and then found your path again, share that moment below. Tell us where you were and what helped you find your own true north. Your stories create a map for others. And if you feel calm curiosity in exploring these silent marvels of ancient engineering, please like this video and subscribe. Let's keep seeking alignment in stone, in soul, and in shared wonder. Drilled granite precision. You might feel that moment of wonder when you first see those deep, perfectly round holes bored into the granite blocks of the Great Pyramid holes, so smooth, so precise, they defy explanation with any tools we know existed at the time. It's like watching someone carve a perfect circle in hardened steel using only a butter knife. Your mind rebels at the thought. Yet there they are, entrances to mystery, each drill mark consistent in diameter and depth, as if created by a machine, programmed for perfection. If you've ever tried to drill a hole in tile or concrete with a basic home drill bit, you know how easily the tool can slip, how rough and jagged the edge becomes, how much patience and power it takes just to make a dent. Now imagine doing that with copper and stone. The ancient builders didn't have carbide bits, high-speed motors, or diamond-tipped tools. They had simple copper tubes and a lot of perseverance, or so the textbooks say. But no modern craftsman, even with diamonds and lasers, could easily replicate the exact finish those engineers achieved thousands of years ago. That realization feels like discovering a secret message scrawled in the margin of a book you thought you knew by heart. It makes you pause and ask, what were they using? A trial run with replicas and experiments left archaeologists frustrated. Copper corroded quickly under the friction, wood braces splintered, and everything dulled under the weight of granite's hardness. Granite scores a 10 on the Mohs scale of mineral hardness. Only diamonds can scratch it. Yet, here we have holes so uniform they're almost clinical, like the work of a modern manufacturing plant. Each cylinder bore is perfectly circular, its walls mirror smooth, its depth consistent to the millimeter. How did they measure, guide, and maintain that precision? Think about the simple act of drawing a line on paper. You press too hard, and the paper tears. You press too light, and the line barely appears. You try again, but at best you get a wavy scribble unless you use a ruler. Then, suddenly, lines can be straight and measurements exact. In stone, the equivalent of that ruler would be a rigid guide and a cutting edge that stays sharp. But there is no evidence of such guides or of tools hard enough to maintain an edge in granite. Instead, we have these perfect holes, and they exist in the heart of the pyramid, where precision mattered most, passing through blocks to anchor beams, or to create ventilation shafts whose exact purpose we still debate. If this seems like a small detail, consider how it changes the whole story of building the pyramid. We often focus on the sheer scale, the millions of stones, the workforce, the ramps, but even if you solve the problem of how to move 80-ton blocks, you still face the challenge of fitting them together seamlessly. A single, misaligned block could collapse a room or ruin a whole wall. The precision drilling provided anchor points for metal pins or wooden beams that held massive stones in place during construction. In many ways, these holes are the pyramids, secret joints, the hidden nails that kept everything from shifting. And those hidden joints speak to a level of engineering we seldom credit to ancient cultures. In everyday life, we look for surprises in the familiar. You might drive the same route to work every day, then one day find a new cafe on the corner you never noticed. You might know your own home so well you can walk through it blindfolded, yet trip over your own shoes when you place them differently. These moments remind us that we often overlook magic in plain sight. The drilled holes in the pyramid are the world's greatest overlooked. Details so buried in stone that generations of visitors pass by without a second thought. Yet once you see them, you can't unsee them. They become a magnet for Your curiosity, pulling your mind back through time to wonder who first made them and why they needed to be so exact. Some scholars suggest that the holes were bored using rotating copper tubes, tipped with sand as an abrasive, bit like using sandpaper. They would turn the tube by hand, using a bow or a rope, grinding slowly through the stone with a slurry of sand and water. Over weeks or months, you might bore through a block. It's possible, but even with modern replicas, the results are sloppy. The holes warp, the edges crumble. The difference comes down to one thing: consistency. The holes in Giza match each other to fractions of a millimeter, block after block, shaft after shaft. That level of repeatability suggests a technique or tool far more stable than simple copper and sand. Imagine, for a moment, solving a puzzle in your mind, like a crossword clue that fits perfectly only when you step back and see the whole grid. These drilled holes are similar. They hint at lost knowledge, a method or material we no longer possess. They make us wonder if ancient builders had mastered a kind of proto-industrial process we've forgotten, something in their understanding of materials, mechanics, or maybe even chemistry that allowed for precise cutting. It's as if time itself conspired to keep that knowledge hidden, locked away in granite walls and sealed passages. And that feeling of forbidden knowledge draws us in, like the allure of a code waiting to be cracked. From a broader perspective, these holes touch on belief. When we see perfect precision in the past, we assume divine intervention or extraterrestrial help. We lean on myths to explain what we can't yet prove. But then, calling upon gods or aliens can become a way to avoid the hard work of investigation. It's easier to say the gods did it than to admit we don't know yet. Yet history is built on those moments of honest questioning, unadmitting gaps in our knowledge and seeking answers through research and innovation. The drilled holes in the pyramids stand as both a monument to human skill and a challenge to our assumptions. Language itself speaks to this paradox. We call something cutting edge when it's the latest technology. We use drill down as a metaphor for deep investigation. Here, the metaphor meets reality in the heart of the pyramid. The ancient engineers drilled not words, but rock, carving pathways for ideas that echo into our modern conversations about possibility and progress. In therapy, we talk about digging deep to uncover hidden thoughts and feelings. The drilled holes are literal digs in stone, reminders that uncovering truth often means penetrating hard surfaces, both literal and metaphorical. Even in the realm of artificial intelligence, we find parallels. AI models use algorithms to cut through massive datasets, finding patterns humans might miss. Yet no algorithm can spot something no one told it to look for, like these granite holes. That realization calls us to remain curious and alert, to question not only what we see, but what we expect to see. Because sometimes the most significant details are those we never set out to find. If you've ever uncovered a detail that changed your perspective, noticed a small but vital clue in a story, or spotted an error in a familiar routine, share it below. Whether it was a typo that led you to a hidden message, or a single line in a diary that shifted everything, your discoveries matter. They remind us that curiosity is a powerful tool, one we sharpen every time we question, explore, and share our stories. And if these ancient drill holes in the pyramid stirred your own wonder, please like this video and subscribe. There's still so much to explore in the silent passages of history, and together we can keep drilling down into the mysteries that shape our world. Failed copper tests, Every time modern researchers have tried to carve or cut pyramid-grade stone using the same copper tools Egyptians are said to have used, the tools snapped, bent, or wore down within minutes, revealing a gap between our stories and the reality of what was physically possible. Picture yourself in a quiet workshop, copper chisels in hand, facing a block of granite or limestone as hard as concrete. You swing your tool with hope, but the metal bends against the rock's resistance, leaving only deep dents in the chisel and a barely visible scratch on the stone. You step back, frustration rising, dust swirling in the warm air. That exact scenario has played out time and again in experimental archaeology labs around the world. Teams have recreated ramps, sleds, and labor rosters, all based on the accepted narrative, and yet when they test the core claim that workers carved and shaped those massive stones with nothing but primitive copper and stone mallets, the claim falls apart. It feels personal, doesn't it? Watching someone try and fail at a task you once believed was straightforward. Like when you first learned to ride a bike and realized it took more than just balance, you needed strength, coordination, and a bit of luck. Or when you tried cooking a family recipe and found out the secret ingredient wasn't in the instructions, but in your grandmother's practiced hand. In those moments, you sense there's more to the story. And in the stone-cutting tests, the more is glaring. Copper simply doesn't hold an edge in rock that scores a 7 or 8 on the Mohs hardness scale. It grinds down faster than it carves, leaving workshop floors littered with broken tools and unanswered questions. Researchers have documented each failed experiment meticulously. They've tried harder copper alloys, thicker chisels, longer working times, different angles of attack. They've watched their metal tools twist like soft wire under the force required to even nick a granite surface. In every test, the stone wins. And that's not a commentary on human effort or ingenuity, it's a fact of material science. Copper is an excellent conductor of electricity and heat, but on the hardness scale, it sits closer to your wedding ring than to the stars. It should shatter, and it does, every time. Yet thousands of years ago, someone managed to cut and polish stone with precision enough to level base plates, trim edges, drill shafts, and fit stones so tightly they're still stable after millennia. So, how do we reconcile our failing experiments with the seamless reality of the pyramids? Some archaeologists propose that ancient workers used copper tools in conjunction with abrasive sand and wooden wedges, slowly chipping away at stone over months or years. That theory makes sense, since it's patient, methodical, and plausible for softer limestone. But when it comes to harder granite, even that method struggles. Sand acts like a mild grinding agent, but it takes a tremendous amount of effort to erode granite. Modern craftsmen using sand and copper still find it excruciatingly slow, producing rough surfaces rather than the smooth cuts we see in the pyramid's inner chambers. The paradox deepens when you consider those perfectly smooth Tura limestone, CASING stones, which required uniform polishing to create a mirror-like exterior. Polishing is one thing, cutting is another. And cutting with copper is an almost impossible dream. This disconnect between claimed method and tested reality echoes a broader human tendency. We often trust stories passed down, simplifying complex processes into neat narratives. Think about when you install a piece of furniture. The instructions say, snugly tighten all screws, but they don't mention the hours you spend fumbling with the small bits, the stripped heads, and the missing Allen wrench. You follow the guide, but reality requires extra tools, improvisation, and patience. Similarly, Ancient Egypt's story of copper chisels, ramps, and slave labor is tidy and emotionally satisfying, a testament to human perseverance. But when we try it ourselves, we realize something is missing. Something significant. That missing piece might be lost. Knowledge, techniques, or tools the Egyptians used but never wrote down in their formal records. It could be an organic hardener applied to copper to make it tougher, a now vanished alloy, recipe, or a process of work hardening metal that we haven't yet rediscovered. Or perhaps it involves mechanical advantage, early forms of lathe work, or simple drill systems that multiplied human effort. But no matter which theory you favor, the plain truth remains: our simplest reconstructions consistently fail. And the failures tell us more than success. They highlight the limits of our understanding and invite us to ask deeper questions. This realization connects to something universal: the feeling of encountering a task you can't quite master with the tools you have. Maybe you've tried to fix something in your car with basic wrenches, only to find the bolts require specialty sockets. Or maybe you've tried to debug a piece of code and discovered a hidden library you never knew existed. Those moments remind us that every craft has hidden layers, undocumented shortcuts, and secrets passed down in silence. And they teach us humility, that mastery often means acknowledging what we do not know and staying open to new insights. In the realm of relationships, we see the same patterns. We think we know what it takes to communicate: words, tone, timing, until a conversation goes off the rails, and we realize there's an unspoken element at play, a look, a gesture, a moment of vulnerability that transcends our best scripts. We must become students again, learning how to listen with more than ears, to speak with more than words. In that sense, the copper tool paradox is a reminder that technology, be it Bronze Age tools or modern machines, can only go so far without the nuance of human ingenuity. That nuance might involve improvising, combining methods, or inventing entirely new solutions. We're teaching AI to recognize patterns and solve problems with data. But AI can only work with the parameters we set. It doesn't know to try mixing copper with a mysterious tree resin that might harden the metal. It can't imagine a pulley system that reduces pressure on the chisel by a fraction of an inch. Those insights come from human intuition, passed through workshop walls and generations of silent practice. The failures of modern copper tests hint at something similar. The right answer might lie in a combination of materials, science, mechanical design, and empirical knowledge we haven't yet reconstructed. So what if the real story of the pyramids' construction includes lost technologies or forgotten traditions? What if every broken chisel we find in our tests is a clue pointing to an alternate method, waiting to be rediscovered? That possibility transforms failure from disappointment into invitation. Instead of seeing our experiments as proof that the old story is wrong, we can see them as a guide toward new questions. Which combination of tools yields better results? Could metal hardening techniques have existed in small workshops? What role did artisans' apprenticeships play in passing on secret practices? Each failed test is a breadcrumb on the trail to deeper understanding. If you've ever tried and failed at a hands-on project, you know the mix of frustration and curiosity that follows. You scrap the first attempt, refine your approach, and try again, discovering surprising solutions along the way. That same spirit of gentle persistence drives researchers seeking to understand the pyramid's stonework. They may fail with copper, but they don't stop there. They experiment with steel drills, synthetic abrasives, and even microwave-like heating methods, looking for parallels that could shed light on ancient techniques. And each test, successful or not, brings us closer to the truth of how those stones were shaped. If this exploration of failed copper tests resonates with you, if you've faced a stubborn problem and found it required thinking outside the box, your experience below. Tell us where you learned something new by embracing failure rather than fear of it. These small stories create a community of learners and remind us that discovery often begins with what doesn't work. And if you find comfort and curiosity in these calm dives into history's unsolved puzzles, please like this video and subscribe. Because the journey through failure is never wasted, it's the path that leads to breakthroughs. And together, we'll keep chiseling away at the unknown, one careful strike at a time. Suitless tunnels, silence. Imagine walking through an ancient tunnel, carved deep into a mountain, expecting to find walls blackened by centuries of torchlight, only to discover they're pristine, untouched by soot or smoke. It's a mystery that pulls you in, isn't it? How could a place so old, used for so long, show no signs of the fires that must have lit the way? This is the enigma of suitless tunnels, corridors that defy what we expect from history, whispering secrets about the past that don't quite add up. Have you ever stumbled across something in your life that felt oddly out of place, like a puzzle piece that doesn't fit? Maybe it was a moment, a place, or even a feeling that left you wondering. Share where you're watching from in the comments below. Let's connect over these mysteries that spark our curiosity. The idea of tunnels feels like finding a clean dish in a sink full of dirty ones. It's like walking outside expecting rain, but the sky is clear. Or studying all night for an exam, only to find the questions are from a different subject. These everyday paradoxes grab our attention because they challenge what we think we know. In this video, we'll explore the strange silence of these tunnels, what they might mean, and how they connect to bigger ideas about our world, our minds, and even the technology shaping our future. With a calm and thoughtful tone, let's dive into this mystery together, unraveling it step by step. If you're as fascinated by these hidden oddities as I am, hit that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe for more stories that make you think. Now, let's step into the tunnel and see where it leads. The suitless tunnels we're talking about aren't just any old passageways. Picture a corridor carved into stone, used for hundreds, maybe thousands, of years. You'd expect to see marks of human life, smudges from torches, scratches from tools, or even faded paintings. But these tunnels, they're clean, almost too clean, like they've been polished by time itself. It's as if no one ever lit a fire, no one ever passed through with a flickering flame. This raises a question: how could people navigate these dark, winding paths without leaving a trace? In daily life, we leave marks everywhere. Think about your kitchen counter after cooking dinner. It's got crumbs, maybe a splash of sauce. Or your phone screen, smudged from a day of texting. We leave evidence of our presence, so why don't these tunnels? It's like they're hiding something, or maybe they're telling us something we don't yet understand. The absence of soot feels like a clue, a quiet nudge to look closer at the world around us. Have you ever noticed something in your life that seemed too perfect, too untouched? Maybe a place that felt strangely new despite its age, or a moment that didn't fit the story you expected. These tunnels invite us to pause and wonder. Let's think about what this cleanliness might mean. One idea is practical. Maybe the people who used these tunnels had a way to light them without fire. Could they have used mirrors to reflect sunlight? like kids playing with a magnifying glass on a sunny day. Or maybe they had some kind of glowing mineral, something we haven't rediscovered yet. These explanations sound simple, but they lead to bigger questions. If they had such advanced methods, why don't we know about them? History is like a half-finished book. Some pages are missing, and we're left guessing what happened. The suitless tunnels could point to lost knowledge, techniques buried by time. This connects to how we live today. Think about your phone or your laptop. We use them every day, but most of us don't really know how they work. If something broke, could you fix it? Probably not. Our world is full of tools and ideas we rely on but don't fully understand. The tunnels remind us that maybe, long ago, people had their own version of this knowledge that was common then but seems mysterious now. Another angle to consider is the tunnels themselves. What if the stone they're made of resists soot naturally? Some rocks, like certain types of granite, are tough and smooth, hard to mark up. Imagine spilling coffee on a countertop that wipes clean every time, no stain left behind. Could the tunnels be made of something like that? It's a simple explanation, but it doesn't solve everything. Even if the walls resist soot, why no? Scratches, no wear from centuries of footsteps. It's like the tunnels are frozen in time, untouched by the chaos of human life. This idea feels personal, doesn't it? We all have moments in our lives that seem to stand still. Maybe it's a memory of a perfect day with someone you love, or a place you visited that felt untouched by the world's mess. These tunnels are like those moments, quiet, still, and a little mysterious. They make us wonder about the people who walked through them. Were they careful, deliberate, almost reverent in how they moved? Or is there something else at play? Something we can't quite grasp? This mystery also touches on how we think about the past. We often assume ancient people were simpler, less advanced. But what if they weren't? The suitless tunnels challenge that idea. They suggest a level of care, skill, or even technology we don't give our ancestors credit for. It's like assuming your grandparents couldn't figure out your smartphone, only to find out they were solving puzzles just as complex in their own way. This paradox, expecting one thing but finding another, shows up in our lives all the time. Ever judged someone too quickly, only to realize they're deeper than you thought? Or believed a story, only to find out it's not quite true? The tunnels are a reminder to stay open, to question what we think we know. They push us to look at history, and even ourselves, with fresh eyes. Now, let's bridge this to bigger themes. The suitless tunnels aren't just about stone and fire. They're about belief, how we trust what we see or don't see. If the tunnels are clean, we might doubt they were used at all. But absence doesn't mean nothing happened. Think about mental health. Sometimes the quietest people are carrying the heaviest thoughts with no outward sign. The tunnels are like that, silent but full of stories. They also connect to language. Words can hide as much as they reveal. When someone says, "I'm fine," but their eyes say something else, it's like the clean walls of a tunnel hiding a history of use. Even artificial intelligence ties into this. AI can seem perfect, polished, with no messy traces of how it got there, but behind the scenes, it's built on countless human choices, mistakes, and ideas. The suitless tunnels remind us to look beyond the surface, to ask what's hidden in the silence. As we wrap up, think about this. What do the suitless tunnels mean to you? Maybe they're a symbol of mystery, a call to question the world. Maybe they're a reminder that not everything leaves a mark, but that doesn't mean it didn't matter. In our lives, we're surrounded by paradoxes, things that don't add up but make us think. Like a rainy day that feels warm, or a tough moment that teaches you something beautiful. These tunnels, with their silent, spotless walls, invite us to slow down, to notice the details, to wonder about the stories they hold. So, what's a mystery you've come across in your life? Maybe it's a place, a moment, or even a person that didn't quite fit. Share it in the comments side. Love to hear your thoughts. And if this journey through the tunnels sparked your curiosity, give this video a like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss our next dive into the unknown. Let's keep exploring these quiet corners of the world together, one mystery at a time. Orion alignment theory. Have you ever looked up at the night sky, spotted a pattern of stars, and felt a shiver of wonder, like they're trying to tell you something? The Orion alignment theory is one of those mysteries that grabs you by the heart. It suggests the pyramids of Giza, those ancient giants of stone, were built to mirror the three stars of Orion's belt as they appeared in the sky around 10,500 BC. That's thousands of years before the pyramids were supposed to exist. How could ancient people align massive monuments with such precision to a constellation so far away? It's a puzzle that feels both cosmic and personal. Have you ever seen something, a place, a moment, or even a star that made you feel connected to something bigger? Drop a comment and tell me where you're watching from. Let's share that sense of awe. This theory is like planning a perfect picnic, only to find the weather matches your mood exactly, or studying for a test and realizing the answers feel like they were written just for you. It's a paradox that makes you question what you know about the past. In this video, we'll explore the Orion alignment theory, why it matters, and how it ties to our beliefs, our words, and even the technology shaping our world. With a calm and thoughtful tone, let's unravel this starry mystery together. If you love diving into ideas that spark your imagination, hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more stories that light up the unknown. Now, let's look to the stars and see what they reveal. The Orion alignment theory starts with the pyramids of Giza, massive, ancient structures that have stood for over 4,500 years. Most of us know them as tombs for pharaohs, built with incredible skill. But this theory says there's more to the story. If you look at the three main pyramids from above, their layout seems to match the three stars of Orion's belt, a bright and recognizable part of the Orion constellation. Not just that, but the alignment supposedly reflects how those stars looked in the sky around 10,500 BC, long before Egypt's pharaohs. It's like finding a photo in your attic that's dated before your house was built. How could it be there? In everyday life, we see patterns that surprise us. Maybe you notice your coffee shop order is ready the moment you walk in, like the universe planned it. Or you meet someone new, and it feels like you've known them forever. The pyramid's alignment with Orion's belt feels like that, a pattern too perfect to be chance. It makes you wonder, did ancient people know something we've forgotten? Were they speaking to the stars in a way we can't understand today? Let's break it down. Orion's belt is made of three bright stars, Alnilam and Mintaka. They're easy to spot, even on a clear night in your backyard. Now, picture the Giza pyramids, Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure. From above, their positions form a diagonal line, just like the stars. The theory, first popularized by researcher Robert Bauval, suggests this isn't a coincidence. He argued the pyramids were placed to mimic the stars as they appeared 12,500 years ago. But here's the catch. Mainstream history says The pyramids were built around 2500 BC. That's an 8,000-year gap. It's like planning a party years before you're born. Could the ancient Egyptians have known what the sky looked like so long ago? Or were the pyramids built by someone else even earlier? This mystery feels personal because it challenges how we see time. Think about your own life. Ever had a moment that felt like it was meant to happen? Like the pieces of your day lined up perfectly? The Orion alignment is like that, but on a cosmic scale. One explanation is that the ancient Egyptians were master astronomers. They watched the stars closely, using them to track seasons, navigate, and plan their lives. Maybe they saw Orion as sacred, a symbol of their gods or their place in the universe. By building the pyramids to match Orion's belt, they could have been honoring that connection. It's like how we might save a special photo or keep a memento to remember someone we love. But the 10,500 BC date complicates things. The stars move slowly over thousands of years, a process called precession, to align the pyramids with Orion's belt. From that time, the builders would need incredible knowledge of the sky's past. It's like knowing the exact weather on a day centuries ago. Could they have had tools or records we don't know about? In our lives, we rely on tools we barely understand. Think about your phone's GPS. You trust it to guide you, but could you explain how it works? Maybe the ancient Egyptians had their own version of this knowledge that seems impossible to us now. Another angle is the pyramids themselves. Building them was no small task. Each stone weighs tons, and they were placed with precision we still marvel at. Aligning them with stars takes that skill to another level. It's like drawing a perfect picture freehand, no ruler, no mistakes. Some say this points to advanced planning, maybe even help from unknown sources. Others argue it's just the Egyptians' genius at work. Either way, it makes you rethink what ancient people could do. We often assume they were less advanced, like thinking your parents couldn't figure out your video games. But what if they were solving puzzles just as complex? This paradox shows up in daily life too. Ever underestimated someone only to be amazed by what they can do, or believed a simple answer only to find a deeper truth? The Orion alignment pushes us to question our assumptions about the past and ourselves. Now, let's connect this to bigger ideas. The Orion alignment isn't just about stones and stars. It's about belief, how we trust what we see in the sky or in history. If the pyramids mirror Orion, it suggests ancient people saw the world as connected, earth to sky. That feels personal. When you look at the stars, don't you feel a pull, like you're part of something vast? The theory also ties to language. The word pyramid or Orion carries stories, but those stories shift depending on who's telling them. It's like when someone says, "I'm okay," but their tone says something else. Words hide as much as they show, even mental health fits here. The alignment is a reminder that what's on the surface, 3 pyramids, 3 stars, might hide deeper truths. Sometimes the quietest moments in our minds hold the biggest questions. An artificial intelligence. It's like the pyramids, in a way impressive, precise, but built on human ideas we don't always see. The Orion alignment asks us to look beyond the obvious, to wonder what's behind the pattern. As we close, think about what this theory means to you. Is it a clue to a lost past, a sign of human genius, or just a beautiful coincidence? It's like finding a song that feels written for you, or a moment that fits your life perfectly. The pyramids and Orion's belt remind us the world is full of mysteries, big and small. They ask us to stay curious, to question what we think we know. So, what's a pattern you've noticed in your life that made you stop and wonder? Maybe a moment, a place, or even a starry night that felt special. Share it in the comments side. Love to hear your story. If this cosmic puzzle lit a spark in you, give this video a like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more journeys into the unknown. Let's keep chasing these mysteries together, one star at a time. Sphinx water erosion. What if the Great Sphinx, that ancient guardian of the Giza Plateau, was shaped by rain that fell thousands of years before we thought it was built? The Sphinx water erosion theory suggests its weathered stone shows signs of heavy rainfall from around 12,000 years ago, a time when the Sahara was lush and green, not the desert we know today. That's a mystery that stops you in your tracks, right? How could a monument we believe was carved around 2500 BC bear the marks of rain from so long ago? It's like finding an old photo of your house, but it's dated before your town even existed. Have you ever come across something, a place, an object, or a story that felt out of time, like it didn't belong? Share your thoughts, or where you're watching from in the comments. Let's dive into this puzzle together. This theory feels like expecting a sunny day but getting a downpour, or studying hard for a test only to face questions from a different subject. It's a paradox that challenges what we think we know about history. In this video, we'll explore the Sphinx's watery scars, what they might mean, and how they connect to our beliefs, our words, and even the technology we use today. With a calm and thoughtful tone, let's unravel this ancient riddle step by step. If you're hooked by mysteries that make you rethink the past, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more stories that spark wonder. Now, let's step into the rain-soaked past of the Sphinx. The Great Sphinx sits proudly beside the pyramids, its lion body and human face gazing out over the desert. Most history books say it was built around 2500 BC, during the time of Pharaoh Kufu. But some researchers, like geologist Robert Schoch, noticed something strange. The Sphinx's stone shows deep grooves and patterns that look like they were carved by heavy rain, not wind or sand. Today, the Sahara is bone dry, with barely any rain. But 12,000 years ago, around 10,000 BC, it was a different story. The region was wet, with rivers and greenery. Could the Sphinx really be that old? It's like finding a rusty bike in your garage, but your family only moved in last year. In everyday life, we see things that don't quite fit. Maybe you've walked into a room and felt it held a story you couldn't explain, or met someone whose words didn't match their eyes. The Sphinx's erosion is like that, a clue that something's off, urging us to look closer. Let's think about what this means. Rain erosion leaves distinct marks, like ripples or channels in stone, different from the smooth wear of wind-blown sand. Schoch argued the Sphinx's deep grooves match heavy rainfall, suggesting it stood through a wet climate long before Egypt's pyramid-building era. But mainstream history says the Sphinx was carved thousands of years later, when the Sahara was already dry. That's the paradox. It's like planning a beach day, but the forecast predicts snow. Could the Sphinx be older than we think? Maybe. It was built by a different people, in a time we know little about. Or perhaps the erosion came from a rare, massive flood. In our lives, we face similar mysteries. Ever fixed a problem, like a fight with a friend, only to find the real issue was something else entirely? The Sphinx's scars ask us to question what we assume about the past. Another angle is the science of it. Geologists study how water shapes stone, like how a river carves a canyon over time. The Sphinx's enclosure, the pit it sits in, shows these water-worn patterns. But if the Sahara was dry by 2500 BC, how did those marks get there? Some say it's not rain, but underground springs or flooding. Others stick to the idea of an older Sphinx from a wetter time. It's like finding a favorite mug, chipped, but you can't recall how it happened. Was it always like that, or did you miss something? This mystery ties to how we trust what we see. History is like a half-told story. Some parts are clear, others are guesses. We use tools like science to fill in the gaps, just like we use apps to navigate our day. But what if those tools, like our phones, GPS, rely on knowledge we don't fully grasp? The Sphinx reminds us that even solid stone can hide secrets. This theory also connects to bigger ideas. It's about belief, how we decide what's true about the past. If the Sphinx is older, it challenges our view of ancient people. Were they more advanced than we thought, like a grandparent who surprises you with tech skills? It's like judging someone too quickly, only to learn they're full of hidden depths. The theory touches language too. Words like Sphinx or erosion carry stories, but those stories shift depending on who's speaking. It's like saying I'm fine when you're not. Words can hide truth. Even mental health fits here. The Sphinx's silent scars are like quiet struggles we carry, visible only if you look closely. And artificial intelligence, it's like the Sphinx, impressive, but built on layers of human work we don't always see. This theory asks us to look beyond the surface, to wonder what's hidden in the stone dot. As we wrap up, what does the Sphinx's water erosion mean to you? Is it a sign of a lost past, a natural quirk, or something else? It's like a rainy day that feels warm, or a tough moment that teaches you something new. The Sphinx stands as a reminder that the world holds mysteries, big and small. So, what's something in your life that felt out of place, like it didn't belong? Maybe a place, a moment, or a feeling that made you pause. Share it in the comment side. Love to hear your story. If this watery riddle sparked your curiosity, give this video a like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more journeys into the unknown. Let's keep exploring these ancient secrets together, one clue at a time. Egyptian builders. What if the grand pyramids of Giza, those towering wonders we credit to Pharaoh Kufu, were actually built by a civilization far older than ancient Egypt? The pre-Egyptian builders theory suggests a forgotten people, lost to history, might have raised these massive monuments long before Khufu's time. That's a thought that grabs you, isn't it? It's like finding a family heirloom in your attic, but it's from a family you never knew existed. How could a civilization build such wonders and vanish without a trace? Have you ever stumbled across something, a place, a story, or a feeling that seemed to belong to another time? Drop a comment with your thoughts or where you're watching from. Let's share this mystery. This idea is like expecting a sunny day but waking to fog, or preparing for a test only to find it's on a subject you've never studied. It's a paradox that shakes what we think we know about the past. In this video, we'll explore the possibility of these ancient builders, what it means, and how it connects to our beliefs, our words, and even the technology we use today. With a calm and thoughtful tone, let's dive into this enigma together. If you're hooked by stories that challenge history, hit that like button, share your thoughts below, and subscribe for more mysteries that spark wonder. Now, let's step back in time and uncover who these builders might have been. The pyramids of Giza, Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure, marvels of stone, built with precision that still amazes us. History says they were constructed around 2500 BC by the ancient Egyptians, but some researchers argue they could be much older, created by a civilization we know nothing about. Why? The pyramid's size, their perfect alignment with the stars, and the massive stones, some weighing as much as a house, seem almost too advanced for that time. It's like finding a smartphone in your grandma's old photo album. In daily life, we see things that don't quite fit. Maybe you've walked through a park and felt a strange sense of history, like the ground holds secrets. Or maybe you've met someone whose story didn't add up, like they knew more than they let on. The idea of pre-Egyptian builders feels like that, a clue that history might be hiding something big. Let's think about why this matters. If the pyramids were built before Khufu, who were these people? They'd need incredible skills, math, engineering, and teamwork to move and place those stones. It's like planning a perfect party, every detail just right, but on a massive scale. Some suggest this lost civilization lived thousands of years earlier, maybe during a time when the Sahara was green and full of life, around 10,000 BC. But if they existed, why don't we have their tools, their writings, or their names? History is like a puzzle with missing pieces. We fill in the gaps with what we know, but sometimes the picture changes. Think about your phone. It's amazing, but you probably don't know how every chip inside works. Maybe these ancient builders had knowledge like that, lost to time, leaving only the pyramids as proof. Another angle is the evidence. The pyramid stones are cut with such precision, and their alignment with the stars, like Orion's belt, feels deliberate. Some say this points to a people with advanced knowledge, maybe even more than the Egyptians we know. Others argue the Egyptians could have done it, and we're just underestimating them. It's like assuming a friend can't cook, then tasting their amazing meal. In life, we often misjudge what's possible. Ever thought a task was too hard, only to find you could do it? The pre-Egyptian builders theory asks us to rethink what ancient people could achieve. Maybe they weren't so different from us, solving problems in ways we can't imagine. This idea connects to bigger themes. It's about belief, how we trust the stories history tells us. If a lost civilization built the pyramids, it changes how we see our past. It's like learning a friend's secret that shifts how you see them. The theory also ties to language. Words like pyramid or Egypt carry stories, but those stories depend on who's telling them. It's like saying, "I'm okay." When you're hiding how you feel, words don't always show the full truth. Even mental health fits here. The pyramids stand tall, but their builders are silent, like thoughts we keep inside. And artificial intelligence. It's like the pyramids, impressive, but built on human ideas we don't always see. This theory asks us to look deeper, to question what's behind the stones. As we close, what does the idea of pre-Egyptian builders mean to you? Is it a hint of a lost world, a sign of human genius, or just a wild guess? It's like a rainy day that feels warm, or a moment that changes how you see life. The pyramids remind us that history holds secrets, waiting for us to notice. So, what's something in your life that felt like it came from another time? Share it in the comments side. Love to hear your story. If this mystery lit a spark, give this video a like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more journeys into the unknown. Let's keep chasing these ancient riddles together, one stone at a time. Secret Sphinx face. What if the face of the Great Sphinx, that iconic gaze watching over the Giza Plateau, isn't the one it was born with. The secret Sphinx face theory suggests the ancient Egyptians recarved its head long after it was first shaped, hiding its original look from the world. That's a mystery that pulls you in, right? It's like finding an old painting in your house, only to realize someone painted over it, covering up what was there before. Why would anyone change the face of such a monument? Have you ever come across something, a place, an object, or a moment that felt like it was hiding its true story? Share your thoughts or where you're watching from in the comments. Let's unravel this together. This idea is like expecting a sunny morning but waking to clouds, or studying for a test only to find the questions changed overnight. It's a paradox that makes you question what we know about the Sphinx. In this video, we'll explore this hidden face, what it might mean, and how it connects to our beliefs, our words, and even the technology we use today. With a calm and thoughtful tone, let's dive into this ancient secret step by step. If you're fascinated by mysteries that challenge history, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more stories that spark wonder. Now, let's peel back the layers of the Sphinx's face. The Great Sphinx, with its lion body and human head, has stood for thousands of years, staring across the desert. Most history books say it was built around 2500 BC, likely with the face of Pharaoh Kufu. But some researchers argue the head we see today is a remake, carved much later than the body. Why? The head is smaller than you'd expect for the body's size, like it was reshaped from something larger. It's like wearing a shirt that's too tight, it doesn't quite fit. In everyday life, we notice things that seem off. Maybe you've seen a photo of a friend that looks touched up, hiding their real smile. Or walked into a room and felt it was changed, but you couldn't say how. The Sphinx's face feels like that's a clue that something's been altered, urging us to look closer. Let's think about what this means. If the Egyptians recarved the face, why did they do it? Maybe the original was damaged by time, like a favorite book with faded pages. Or perhaps they wanted to claim the Sphinx, putting their own mark on an older monument. Imagine repainting a fence to make it yours, even if someone else built it. Some say the first face wasn't even human, maybe. It was a lion, matching the body, or something else entirely. But carving stone is hard work, like cutting a tree with a dull axe. Why go to all that trouble? In our lives, we hide things too. Ever changed how you act to fit in, like wearing a mask? The Sphinx's new face might be like that, a mask over its true self. Another angle is the evidence. The Sphinx's head shows different weathering than the body, like it was worked on later. The body has deep marks, possibly from rain long ago, but the head looks smoother, as if it was recarved when the climate was dry. It's like finding a table with old scratches, but the top is freshly polished. Some argue this points to an older Sphinx, built before Egypt's pharaohs, then redone to fit their story. Others say the Egyptians carved it all at once, and we're reading too much into it. In life, we misjudge things. Ever thought a friend was upset, only to learn they were just tired? The Sphinx's face asks us to question what we see. History is like a story told by someone else. Some parts are clear, others are guesses. This theory ties to bigger ideas. It's about belief, how we trust what history tells us. If the Sphinx's face was changed, it suggests ancient people shaped their past, like we shape our own stories. It's like editing a photo to look better, hiding the messy bits. The theory touches language too. Words like Sphinx carry tales, but those tales shift depending on who's speaking. It's like saying I'm fine when you're not. Words hide truth. Even mental health fits here. The Sphinx's hidden face is like thoughts we keep inside, showing only what we want others to see. And artificial intelligence. It's like the Sphinx, sleek and impressive, but built on human choices we don't always notice. This theory asks us to look beyond the surface, to wonder what's beneath the stone. As we wrap up, what does the secret Sphinx face mean to you? Is it a sign of a hidden past, a practical fix, or something else? It's like a cloudy day that feels warm, or a moment that shifts how you see the world. The Sphinx reminds us that history holds secrets waiting to be noticed. So, what's something in your life that felt like it was hiding its true story? Share it in the comments side. Love to hear from you. If this mystery sparked your curiosity, give this video a like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more journeys into the unknown. Let's keep exploring these ancient riddles together, one face at a time. Pressure on Peckers. What if the secrets of ancient Egypt are being kept hidden, not by time, but by someone guarding the past? Some researchers claim that Zahi Hawass, a famous Egyptologist, suppresses Greek and modern theories about sites like the pyramids and Sphinx, pushing only his own views. That's a mystery that grabs you, isn't it? It's like finding an old diary in your house, but someone's torn out pages to keep you from reading the full story. Why would anyone block new ideas about history? Have you ever felt like someone was hiding the truth from you, maybe in a conversation or a place you visited? Share your thoughts or where you're watching from in the comments. Let's explore this together. This idea is like expecting a clear day but getting rain, or studying for a test only to find the questions don't match what you learned. It's a paradox that makes you question what we're told about the past. In this video, we'll dive into these claims, what they mean, and how they connect to our beliefs, our words, and even the technology we use today. With a calm and thoughtful tone, let's uncover this puzzle step by step. If you're curious about mysteries that challenge what we know, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more stories that spark wonder. Now, let's dig into the pressure on these researchers. Zahi Hawass is a big name in Egyptology, known for his work on the pyramids and Sphinx. He's led digs, written books, and appeared on TV, shaping how we see ancient Egypt. But some researchers say he's too controlling, dismissing ideas that don't fit his views. For example, Greek historians like Herodotus wrote about Egypt's monuments, hinting at older origins or different builders. Modern theories, like those about water erosion on the Sphinx or star alignments with the pyramids, suggest these sites could be older than we think. Yet critics claim Hawass brushes these off, calling them unscientific or silly. It's like a teacher ignoring your answer because it's not what they expected. In everyday life, we see this too. Maybe you've shared an idea at work, but your boss shot it down without listening. Or you felt a friend wasn't telling you the whole story. This pressure on researchers feels like that, a push to stick to one version of history. Let's think about why this happens. Hawass has spent decades studying Egypt, so he might feel protective of his findings. He said the pyramids were built around 2500 BC by Egyptians, not by older cultures or with advanced methods we don't understand. When researchers bring up Greek stories or new scans showing possible hidden chambers, he often says they lack proof. But some argue he's too quick to dismiss, not giving these ideas a fair chance. It's like baking a cake and refusing to try a new recipe because you love your old one. Could there be truth in these other theories? Greek accounts, though old, might hold clues. Modern tech, like radar scans, has found odd spaces under the pyramids, but Howard has called these findings fake. In life, we face similar blocks. Ever tried to fix a problem, like a fight with a friend, only to find the real issue was being ignored? This debate asks us to wonder what's being overlooked. Another angle is the evidence itself. Greek writers described the pyramids as ancient even in their time, over 2,000 years ago. Modern researchers, using tools like satellite imaging, suggest the Sphinx's weathering or the pyramid's star alignments point to a much older past, maybe 10,000 BC. But Howard insists these don't hold up, saying only his team's work is solid. It's like finding an old toy in your yard, but someone says it's not yours because they didn't see you buy it. Who's right? History is tricky. Evidence can be read in different ways. We rely on experts like Howard's, just like we trust apps to guide our day. But what if those experts, like our phones, GPS, aren't showing us every path? This mystery pushes us to question who controls the story of our past. This connects to bigger ideas. It's about belief, how we decide what's true. If Howard suppresses theories, it shapes what we think about ancient Egypt. It's like hearing only one side of a family story, missing the full picture. The debate touches language too. Words like pyramid or sphinx carry tales, but who gets to tell them? It's like saying, I'm okay when you're hiding. Something words can limit truth. Even mental health fits here. Suppressing ideas is like bottling up feelings, keeping the real story inside. An artificial intelligence. It's like the pyramid's impressive, but built on human choices we don't always see. This theory asks us to look beyond the official story, to wonder what's hidden. As we wrap up, what does this pressure on researchers mean to you? Is it a gatekeeper protecting history, or a block to new truths? It's like a foggy day that feels clear, or a moment that changes how you see the world. The pyramids and Sphinx remind us that history holds secrets, waiting for us to ask questions. So, what's a time you felt someone hid the truth from you? Share it in the comment side. Love to hear your story. If this mystery lit a spark, give this video a like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more journeys into the unknown. Let's keep chasing these ancient riddles together, one theory at a time. Global Builders Theory. What if the pyramids, Stonehenge, and other ancient wonders were built by a single, advanced society that spanned the globe, then vanished without a trace? The Global Builders Theory suggests a lost civilization, far older and smarter than we know, could have created these monuments before history as we know it began. That's a mystery that hooks you, right? It's like finding an old key in your backyard, but it unlocks a door to a house you've never seen. How could a whole society disappear, leaving only stones behind? Have you ever visited a place or heard a story that felt like it came from another world? Share your thoughts or where you're watching from in the comments. Let's dive into this puzzle together. This idea is like expecting a sunny day but finding snow, or studying for a test only to face questions from a book you've never read. It's a paradox that shakes what we think about the past. In this video, we'll explore this lost society, what it might mean, and how it connects to our beliefs, our words, and even the technology we use today. With a calm and thoughtful tone, let's unravel this mystery step by step. If you're fascinated by ideas that challenge history, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more stories that spark wonder. Now, let's search for this forgotten world. The Global Builders Theory points to ancient sites like Egypt's pyramids, England's Stonehenge, and Peru's Machu Picchu. These places, built thousands of years ago, share odd similarities: precise stonework, star alignments, and massive blocks moved in ways we struggle to explain. History says different cultures made them, separated by oceans and time. But some researchers wonder if one advanced society, long before recorded history, could have built them all. It's like finding the same handwriting in letters from different countries. In daily life, we notice things that don't fit. Maybe you've seen a photo that feels out of place, like it's from a time you can't pin down, or met someone who seems to know more than they should. This theory feels like that, a hint that our past might hold a bigger story. Let's think about what this means. If a global society existed, they'd need incredible skills, math, tools, and planning to build these sites. Picture organizing a huge family party, but across continents, with stones heavier than cars. Some say this civilization lived around 10,000 BC, when the world was wetter and greener. They might have sailed oceans, shared knowledge, then vanished, maybe due to floods or disasters. But why no clear proof, like their tools or writings? It's like cleaning your room so well, no one knows you were there. In life, we lose things too. Ever misplaced a favorite pen, only to find it later, or never at all? This theory suggests history might have lost a whole civilization. Another angle is the evidence. Many ancient sites align with stars, like Orion's belt, or use stones cut so perfectly they fit without glue. These shared traits across far apart places make some wonder if one group taught everyone. But others say local people figured it out themselves, and we're just seeing patterns where none exist. It's like assuming a friend can't bake, then tasting their perfect cake. In life, we misjudge what's possible. Ever thought a task was too hard, only to nail it? This theory asks us to rethink what ancient people could do. Maybe they were connected in ways we can't see. This idea ties to bigger themes. It's about belief, how we trust history's story. If a global society existed, it changes how we see our roots. It's like learning a family secret that shifts who you think you are. The theory touches language too. Words like pyramid or Stonehenge carry tales, but who tells them matters. It's like saying, I'm okay when you're not. Words hide truth. Even mental health fits here. A lost civilization, silent in history, is like thoughts we keep inside, an artificial intelligence. It's like these monuments, impressive, but built on human ideas we don't always grasp. This theory asks us to look deeper, to question what's gone missing. As we close, what does the global builders theory mean to you? Is it a clue to a lost world, a sign of human smarts, or just a guess? It's like a warm, rainy day, or a moment that changes your view. These ancient stones remind us history holds secrets waiting for us to notice. So, what's a place or story in your life that felt like it held a hidden truth? Share it in the comment side. Love to hear from you. If this mystery lit a spark, give this video a like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more journeys into the unknown. Let's keep chasing these ancient riddles together, one stone at a time. Göbekli Tepe connection. What if ancient people, thousands of years ago, built massive stone temples before they even had villages, connecting mysterious sites like Göbekli Tepe to other advanced places around the world? The Göbekli Tepe connection theory suggests this ancient site in Turkey, with its carved pillars and precise stonework, isn't alone. It might be linked to similar advanced structures, hinting at a shared, forgotten past. That's a mystery that grabs you, right? It's like finding an old letter in your attic, written in a language you don't know, but it matches one found halfway across the globe. How could people so long ago create such wonders? Have you ever visited a place or heard a story that felt like it held secrets from another time? Share your thoughts or where you're watching from in the comments. Let's explore this together. This idea is like expecting a rainy day but getting sunshine, or studying for a test only to face questions from a different book. It's a paradox that challenges what we think about early humans. In this video, we'll dive into Göbekli Tepe and its possible connections, what they mean, and how they touch our beliefs, our words, and even the technology we use today. With a calm and thoughtful tone, let's uncover this puzzle step by step. If you're hooked by mysteries that rewrite history, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more stories that spark wonder. Now, let's journey back to these ancient stones. Göbekli Tepe, a hilltop site in Turkey, is over 11,000 years old, older than the pyramids or Stonehenge. It has huge T-shaped pillars, some carved with animals, set in circles like a temple. What's strange is that it was built by hunter-gatherers, people we thought only roamed and hunted, not built grand structures. Yet, some say Göbekli Tepe isn't unique. Similar, advanced sites, with precise stonework or odd layouts, exist elsewhere, like in Malta or Peru. Could these places share a common origin? It's like finding the same recipe in kitchens across the world, but no one knows who wrote it. In daily life, we see things that don't quite fit. Maybe you've walked through a park and felt it held a story you couldn't name, or met someone whose words seemed to echo something deeper. This theory feels like that, a clue that our ancient past might be more connected than we think. Let's think about what this means. If Göbekli Tepe and other sites were built by related groups, these people had skills we don't expect. Carving stone, moving heavy blocks, maybe even tracking stars. It's like planning a big party, but with tools made of flint and bone. Some researchers suggest these sites were built around 10,000 BC, when the world was changing, warming up after the Ice Age. Maybe these people shared ideas, traveling far, or even belonged to one big culture. But why did they disappear, leaving no cities or writings? It's like tidying up so well, no one knows you were there. In life, we lose things too. Ever misplaced a favorite key, only to wonder where it went? This theory suggests we might have lost a whole chapter of human history. Another angle is the evidence. Göbekli Tepe's pillars are cut with precision, some weighing tons, and aligned in ways that suggest planning. Other sites, like Malta's Kuguntaja temples, show similar stonework, built long before we thought people could do such things. These shared traits make some wonder if knowledge was passed around like a recipe, shared between friends. But others say each culture built their own, and we're just seeing patterns where none exist. It's like thinking a friend can't sing, then hearing their amazing voice. In life, we underestimate what's possible. Ever thought a task was too big only to crush it? This theory asks us to rethink what early humans could do, maybe together. This idea ties to bigger themes. It's about belief, how we trust what we know about our past. If these sites are connected, it changes how we see our ancestors. It's like learning a family story that shifts who you think you are. The theory touches language too. Words like temple or Göbekli Tepe carry tales, but who tells them matters. It's like saying I'm fine when you're not. Words hide truth. Even mental health fits here. These silent stones are like thoughts we keep inside, waiting to be heard. And artificial intelligence. It's like these sites impressive, but built on human ideas we don't always see. This theory asks us to look deeper, to question what's missing. As we close, what does the Gogikli Tepe connection mean to you? Is it a hint of a shared past, a sign of early genius, or just a guess? It's like a sunny day that feels cool, or a moment that changes your view. These stones remind us history holds secrets, waiting for us to notice. So, what's a place or story in your life that felt like it held a hidden truth? Share it in the comments side. Love to hear from you. If this mystery lit a spark, give this video a like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more journeys into the unknown. Let's keep chasing these ancient riddles together, one stone at a time. Saqqara granite boxes. What if ancient people carved massive granite boxes so perfectly that even today's tools would struggle to match their precision? The Saqqara granite boxes, hidden beneath Egypt's Saqqara necropolis, are so finely crafted, they seem impossible for the Bronze Age when they were supposedly made. That's a mystery that hooks you, isn't it? It's like finding a handmade wooden box in your attic, so smooth and exact it looks like it was made by a machine you've never seen. How could people with simple tools create such flawless work? Have you ever come across something, a place, an object, or a story that felt too advanced for its time? Share your thoughts or where you're watching from in the comments. Let's unravel this together. This idea is like expecting a rainy day but getting clear skies, or studying for a test only to find questions from a different subject. It's a paradox that challenges what we know about ancient skills. In this video, we'll explore these granite boxes, what they mean, and how they connect to our beliefs, our words, and even the technology we use today. With a calm and thoughtful tone, let's dive into this puzzle, step by step. If you're fascinated by mysteries that rewrite history, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more stories that spark wonder. Now, let's open the lid on these ancient boxes, deep under Saqqara, an ancient Egyptian burial site, lie massive granite boxes, some weighing over 70 tons. These boxes, found in the Serapeum, have flat surfaces, sharp corners, and smooth insides, cut with a precision that feels modern. History says they were made around 2500 BC, during the Bronze Age, when tools were made of copper or stone. But granite is super hard cutting, it today needs diamond-tipped saws. How did ancient people do it? It's like trying to carve a pumpkin with a spoon and getting perfect edges. In daily life, we see things that don't add up. Maybe you fixed a bike and wondered how it was made so well, or met someone whose skills surprised you. These boxes feel like that, a clue that ancient people might have known more than we think. Let's think about what this means. The boxes were likely used to hold sacred bull mummies, part of Egyptian rituals. But making them was no small task. Each one is carved from a single block of granite, some brought from far away. The surfaces are so flat you can't slip a piece of paper between them and their lids. It's like building a perfect table with just a hammer and chisel. Some say the Egyptians used clever tricks, like sand to polish, or bronze tools with endless patience. Others wonder if they had lost techniques, maybe even machines we don't know about. In life, we face similar puzzles. Ever solved a problem, like a tough homework question, only to wonder how you did it? These boxes ask us to question what ancient people could achieve. Another angle is the evidence. The box's precision has been measured with modern tools, showing accuracy down to tiny fractions of an inch. That's like drawing a straight line freehand, perfect every time. Some argue this points to advanced knowledge, maybe from a culture before the Egyptians. Others say the Egyptians were just that good and we're underestimating them. It's like thinking a friend can't cook, then tasting their amazing meal. In life, we misjudge what's possible. Ever thought a task was too hard, only to nail it? This mystery pushes us to rethink ancient skills. Maybe they had ways of working stone that time erased. This idea ties to bigger themes. It's about belief, how we trust what we know about the past. If these boxes are too perfect for their time, it changes how we see our ancestors. It's like learning a family story that shifts who you think you are. The theory touches language too. Words like granite or Saqqara carry tales, but who tells them matters. It's like saying I'm fine when you're not. Words hide truth. Even mental health fits here. These silent boxes are like thoughts we keep inside, waiting to be understood. An artificial intelligence. It's like these boxes, sleek and precise, but built on human ideas we don't always see. This mystery asks us to look deeper, to question what's possible. As we close, what do the Saqqara granite boxes mean to you? Are they proof of lost skills, a sign of Egyptian genius, or something else? It's like a clear day that feels cool, or a moment that changes your view. These boxes remind us history holds secrets, waiting for us to notice. So, what's an object or story in your life that felt too perfect for its time? Share it in the comment side. Love to hear from you. If this mystery lit a spark, give this video a like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more journeys into the unknown. Let's keep chasing these ancient riddles together, one box at a time. Abu Rawash precision. What if ancient builders carved granite walls so perfectly that modern machines would struggle to match their skill? The Abu Rawash precision theory points to the granite temple walls at Abu Rawash, an ancient Egyptian site, cut with such accuracy they seem impossible for their time. That's a mystery that pulls you in, right? It's like finding a handmade table in your home, so smooth and exact it looks like it was crafted with tools from the future. How could people thousands of years ago work hard stone with such precision? Have you ever seen something, a place, an object, or a story that felt too advanced for its time? Share your thoughts or where you're watching from in the comments. Let's unravel this together. This idea is like expecting a cloudy day but getting sunshine, or studying for a test only to face questions from a different book. It's a paradox that challenges what we know about ancient skills. In this video, we'll explore these granite walls, what they mean, and how they connect to our beliefs, our words, and even the technology we use today. With a calm and thoughtful tone, let's dive into this puzzle step by step. If you're hooked by mysteries that rewrite history, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more stories that spark wonder. Now, let's step into the ancient stones of Abu Rawash. Abu Rawash, near the Giza pyramids, is home to a ruined pyramid and temple, often linked to Pharaoh Kufu around 2500 BC. The temple's granite walls are the real mystery, cut with razor-sharp precision, their surfaces flat and corners perfect, like they were made with lasers. Granite is tough, harder than most rocks, and cutting it today needs diamond-tipped tools. Back then, people used copper or stone tools, which seems impossible for such work. It's like trying to carve a loaf of bread with a dull knife and getting perfect slices. In daily life, we notice things that don't add up. Maybe you fixed a gadget and wondered how it was built so well, or met someone whose talents surprised you. These walls feel like that, a hint that ancient builders might have known more than we think. Let's think about what this means. The temple walls at Abu Rawash aren't just well cut. They're almost too perfect, with angles so precise they rival modern engineering. Some say the Egyptians used endless patience, polishing with sand or harder stones. Others wonder if they had lost techniques, maybe even tools we don't know about. It's like building a perfect bookshelf with just a hammer and nails. Could a forgotten culture, older than the pharaohs, have done this? In life, we face similar puzzles. Ever solved a tricky problem, like a math question, and wondered how you pulled it off? These walls ask us to question what ancient people could do, maybe with skills time has erased. Another angle is the evidence. Modern measurements show the wall's surfaces are flat within tiny fractions of an inch, like a glass tabletop. The blocks, some huge, were moved from far away and fit together tightly. This kind of work suggests planning and knowledge, like drawing a perfect circle freehand. Some argue this points to advanced methods, maybe from a time before Egypt's known history. Others say the Egyptians were just that skilled, and we're underestimating them. It's like thinking a friend can't bake, then tasting their perfect cake. In life, we misjudge what's possible. Ever thought a task was too hard, only to ace it? This mystery pushes us to rethink ancient abilities. This idea ties to bigger themes. It's about belief, how we trust what we know about the past. If these walls are too perfect for their time, it changes how we see our ancestors. It's like learning a family story that shifts who you think you are. The theory touches language too. Words like granite or Abu Rawash carry tales. But who tells them matters. It's like saying, I'm fine, when your not words hide truth. Even mental health fits here. These silent stones are like thoughts we keep inside, waiting to be seen. An artificial intelligence? It's like these walls, sleek and precise, but built on human ideas we don't always grasp. This mystery asks us to look deeper, to question what's possible. As we close, what does the Abu Rawash precision mean to you? Is it proof of lost skills, a sign of Egyptian genius, or something else? It's like a sunny day that feels cool, or a moment that changes your view. These walls remind us history holds secrets, waiting for us to notice. So, what's an object or story in your life that felt too perfect for its time? Share it in the comments side. Love to hear from you. If this mystery lit a spark, give this video a like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more journeys into the unknown. Let's keep chasing these ancient riddles together, one stone at a time. Stone transport mystery. What if ancient people moved 80-ton granite blocks across 500 miles of desert with tools so simple they'd fit in your toolbox? The stone transport mystery asks how the builders of Egypt's pyramids hauled massive stones from faraway quarries to create these wonders thousands of years ago. That's a puzzle that grabs you, right? It's like trying to push a car up a hill with just your hands, yet somehow succeeding perfectly. How did they do it without modern machines? Have you ever seen something, a place, an object, or a task that seemed impossible, yet it was done? Share your thoughts or where you're watching from in the comments. Let's solve this together. This mystery feels like expecting rain but getting sunshine, or studying for a test only to face a different subject. It's a paradox that challenges what we know about ancient skills. In this video, we'll explore how these stones were moved, what it means, and how it connects to our beliefs, our words, and even the technology we use today. With a calm and thoughtful tone, let's dive into this riddle step by step. If you're hooked by puzzles that defy history, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more stories that spark wonder. Now, let's follow the path. Of these giant stones, the pyramids of Giza, built around 2500 BC, are made of huge granite blocks, some weighing as much as 80 tons. Think of a truck loaded with cargo. These stones came from quarries 500 miles away in Aswan, across deserts and rivers. Today, we'd use cranes and trucks, but back then, the Egyptians had only ropes, sleds, and maybe wooden rollers. It's like moving a fridge across town using just a skateboard. Some say they dragged the stones on sleds, pouring water to make the sand slippery. Others think they used ramps or even floated stones on boats during Nile floods. In daily life, we face tough tasks too. Ever carried a heavy bag of groceries home, finding a way to make it work? This mystery feels like that, a challenge that seems impossible but somehow got solved. Let's think about what this means. Moving these stones needed not just strength but smarts, planning routes, organizing workers, and solving problems on the go. It's like planning a big party, making sure every detail is perfect. Some wonder if the Egyptians had tricks we've lost, like clever levers or teamwork we can't imagine. Others say it was pure grit and simple tools. In life, we underestimate what's possible. Ever thought a job was too hard, only to figure it out? This mystery asks us to rethink what ancient people could do. It's about belief, how we trust what history tells us. If they moved 80-ton stones, maybe our ancestors were more capable than we think. It's like learning a friend's secret talent that changes how you see them. This idea touches bigger themes. Words like pyramid carry stories, but those stories shift depending on who tells them. It's like saying, "I'm okay," when you're hiding something. Words hide truth. Even mental health fits here. The effort to move these stones is like struggles we keep inside, pushing through quietly. And artificial intelligence. It's like these stones, impressive, but built on human ideas we don't always see. As we close, what does this mystery mean to you? Is it proof of ancient genius or just hard work? It's like a sunny day that feels cool, or a moment that shifts your view. So, what's a task in your life that seemed impossible but you made it happen? Share it in the comment side. Love to hear from you. If this puzzle lit a spark, give this video a like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more journeys into the unknown. Let's keep chasing these ancient riddles together, one stone at a time. Heritage or hubris? What if Egypt's efforts to guard its ancient treasures, like the pyramids and Sphinx, are less about saving history and more about controlling how the world sees it? The heritage or hubris theory questions whether Egypt protects its past to preserve it or to polish its own image. That's a mystery that hooks you, right? It's like finding an old family photo album, but someone's picked only the best pictures to show. Why hide the rest? Have you ever felt someone was shaping a story to look better than it is? Share your thoughts or where you're watching from in the comments. Let's dig into this together. This idea is like expecting sunshine but getting clouds, or preparing for a test only to find a different topic. It's a paradox that makes you wonder about truth and pride. In this video, we'll explore Egypt's choices, what they mean, and how they connect to our beliefs, our words, and even the technology we use today. With a calm and thoughtful tone, let's unravel this puzzle step by step. If you're drawn to mysteries that question motives, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more stories that spark wonder. Now, let's look at Egypt's ancient legacy. Egypt is famous for its pyramids, sphinx, and tombs, drawing millions to see its history. The government guards these sites tightly, controlling who digs and what's shared. Some say this protects fragile relics from harm. Others think it's about image keeping. Egypt's story, grand and unchallenged. For example, new theories about older builders or hidden chambers are often dismissed by officials. It's like a friend only sharing perfect moments online, hiding the messy bits. In life, we see this too. Ever fixed a problem, like a fight, only to find the real issue was pride. This debate feels like that, a tug between truth and appearance. Some argue Egypt limits research to maintain a heroic narrative, like a country claiming only victories. Others say it's just careful stewardship. History is like a story we tell ourselves, shaped by who's speaking. Words like heritage carry weight, but they can hide motives, like saying, "I'm fine" when you're not. Even mental health fits here. Guarding an image is like hiding struggles inside. And artificial intelligence, it's like these monuments, impressive, but shaped by human choices we don't always see. As we close, what does this mean to you? Is Egypt saving history or its pride? It's like a clear day that feels off, or a moment that shifts your view. So, what's a time you felt someone hid the real story? Share it in the comment side. Love to hear from you. If this mystery lit a spark, give this video a like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more journeys into the unknown. Let's keep chasing these riddles together, one truth at a time. Gatekeeper prophet theory. What if the history we're taught about ancient wonders like the pyramids is shaped not just to inform, but to protect the reputations of those who control it? The gatekeeper prophet theory suggests some people might steer the story of our past to boost their own image or influence, hiding other possibilities. That's a mystery that grabs you, right? It's like finding an old journal, but key pages are missing, kept back by someone who wants to control the tale. Have you ever felt a story maybe about a place or event wasn't the full truth? Share your thoughts or where you're watching from in the comments. Let's explore this together. This idea is like expecting a sunny day but getting fog, or studying for a test only to face unexpected questions. It's a paradox that makes you question what we're told. In this video, we'll dive into this theory, what it means, and how it connects to our beliefs, our words, and even the technology we use today. With a calm and thoughtful tone, let's unravel this puzzle step by step. If you're drawn to mysteries that challenge the official story, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more tales that spark wonder. Now, let's peek behind the curtain of history. Some say gatekeepers, experts, officials, or institutions shape what we know about sites like the pyramids or Sphinx to maintain their authority. They might downplay theories like older builders or advanced methods to keep their version of history intact. It's like a friend only sharing their best moments, hiding anything that doesn't fit. In daily life, we see this too. Ever shared an idea only to have it dismissed because it didn't suit someone's agenda? This theory feels like that, a push to control the narrative. Some argue these gatekeepers protect their reputation or even profit, like book sales or tourism, by sticking to one story. Others say they're just guarding the truth, ensuring only solid evidence gets through. It's like choosing photos for a family album, picking ones that make everyone look good. History is a story we trust, but who's telling it? Words like ancient or Egypt carry tales, but they can hide motives, like saying, I'm fine when you're not. Even mental health fits here. Hiding parts of a story is like bottling up feelings. And artificial intelligence, it's like these monuments, impressive, but shaped by human choices we don't always see. As we close, what does this theory mean to you? Is it about protecting pride or preserving truth? It's like a foggy day that feels clear, or a moment that shifts your view. So, what's a time you felt the real story was hidden? Share it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. If this mystery lit a spark, give this video a like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more journeys into the unknown. Let's keep chasing these riddles together, one truth at a time. Sealed door drama. What if a robot creeping through the Great Pyramid found a hidden door, only for the search to stop just as secrets seemed within reach? The sealed door drama centers on Gantenbrink's door, a mysterious limestone slab found in the pyramid's air shaft, explored mid-investigation in the 1990s, then suddenly halted. That's a mystery that hooks you, right? It's like finding a locked box in your attic, opening it a crack, then being told to stop looking. Why pause when the truth is so close? Have you ever been stopped from uncovering something intriguing? Share your thoughts or where you're watching from in the comments. Let's dive into this together. This feels like expecting a sunny day but getting rain, or studying for a test only to face a different topic. It's a paradox that makes you question what's hidden. In this video, we'll explore this halted discovery, what it means, and how it connects to our beliefs, our words, and even the technology we use today. With a calm and thoughtful tone, let's unravel this puzzle step by step. If you're drawn to mysteries that tease the unknown, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more tales that spark wonder. Now, let's peek behind this ancient door. In 1993, German engineer Rudolf Gantenbrink sent a robot, a Putu, up a narrow shaft in the Great Pyramid's Queen's Chamber. After climbing 213 feet, it found a limestone slab with 2 copper pins, later called Gantenbrink's door. The world buzzed with excitement. What was behind it? In 2002, a live TV event drilled through the slab, revealing a small space and another block, but then exploration stopped. Why? Some say it was to protect the pyramid. Others think it was about controlling the story. It's like a friend sharing a secret, then clamming up halfway. In life, we face this too. Ever had a project stall just as it got interesting? This drama suggests someone didn't want the full truth out. It's about belief, how we trust what's revealed. If doors stay sealed, what do we miss? Words like pyramid carry tales, but silence hides truth, like saying I'm okay when you're not. Mental health fits here. Keeping secrets is like bottling feelings. And artificial intelligence, it's like the robot probing the unknown, but guided by human choices. As we close, what does this halted search mean to you? Is it caution or cover-up? It's like a foggy day that feels clear, or a moment that shifts your view. What's a time you were stopped from finding the truth? Share it in the comment side. Love to hear from you. If this mystery lit a spark, give this video a like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more journeys into the unknown. Let's keep chasing these riddles together, one door at a time. Rejected alt theories. What if the story of Egypt's pyramids and Sphinx hides truths because mainstream experts dismiss ideas like ancient water erosion or star alignments with Orion? The rejected alt theories suggest that Egyptology often ignores alternative views that could rewrite history, sticking to a safer narrative. That's a mystery that pulls you in, right? It's like finding an old book in your house, but someone's crossed out chapters that don't fit their story. Why shut out new ideas? Have you ever felt an idea you had was ignored because it was too different? Share your thoughts or where you're watching from in the comments. Let's explore this together. This feels like expecting a sunny day, but getting clouds, or studying for a test only to face unexpected questions. It's a paradox that makes you wonder about truth. In this video, we'll dive into these overlooked theories, what they mean, and how they connect to our beliefs, our words, and even the technology we use today. With a calm and thoughtful tone, let's unravel this puzzle step by step. If you're hooked by mysteries that challenge the official tale, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more stories that spark wonder. Now, let's shine a light on these rejected ideas. Mainstream Egyptology says the pyramids and Sphinx were built around 2500 BC by pharaohs using simple tools. But some researchers point to signs of water erosion on the Sphinx, suggesting it stood during a wetter time, maybe 10,000 BC. Others see the pyramid's layout matching Orion's belt, hinting at star-guided builders. These ideas are often brushed off as unproven. It's like a teacher ignoring your answer because it's not in the book. In life, we see this too. Ever shared a thought only to be shut down? These theories suggest history might be more complex. Some say experts reject them to keep their work unchallenged, like a chef sticking to one recipe. Others think it's about sticking to solid evidence. It's like choosing only familiar songs for a playlist, skipping the new ones. Belief shapes what we accept. If we dismiss new ideas, what do we miss? Words like Sphinx carry tales, but silence hides others, like saying I'm fine when you're not. Mental health fits here. Ignoring ideas is like bottling up feelings and artificial intelligence. It's like the pyramids, impressive, but built on choices we don't always see. As we close, what do these rejected theories mean to you? Are they hidden truths or wild guesses? It's like a cloudy day that feels clear, or a moment that shifts your view. What's a time your idea was overlooked? Share it in the comments side. Love to hear from you. If this mystery lit a spark, give this video a like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more journeys into the unknown. Let's keep chasing these riddles together, one idea at a time. Advanced tech legacy. What if ancient engineers built the pyramids and other wonders with tools so advanced they vanished from history, leaving us to marvel at their work? The advanced tech legacy theory suggests our ancestors might have used methods or machines beyond what we know, lost to time. That's a mystery that grabs you, right? It's like finding a perfect cake in your kitchen, but no one knows the recipe or tools used to make it. How could they do so much with so little? Have you ever seen something, a place or object, that felt too clever for its time? Share your thoughts or where you're watching from in the comments. Let's explore this together. This feels like expecting rain but getting sunshine, or studying for a test only to face a different subject. It's a paradox that challenges what we think about the past. In this video, we'll dive into these lost tools, what they mean, and how they connect to our beliefs, our words, and even the technology we use today. With a calm and thoughtful tone, let's unravel this puzzle step by step. If you're hooked by mysteries that stretch history, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more tales that spark wonder. Now, let's hunt for these ancient secrets The pyramids, Sphinx, and sites like Stonehenge show incredible skill. Huge stones, cut perfectly, moved far and placed with precision. History says ancient people used simple tools, like copper chisels or ropes, around 2500 BC. But some wonder if they had advanced methods, maybe levers, pulleys, or even unknown devices to shape granite or lift tons. It's like building a perfect table with just a pocket knife. In daily life, we see puzzles to whoever fixed something and wondered how it was made. This theory suggests lost knowledge, maybe from an older culture. Some say Egyptians used clever tricks we haven't rediscovered. Others think mainstream history ignores bigger possibilities. It's like a friend hiding how they aced a test. Belief shapes what we accept. If we think ancients were basic, we miss their genius. Words like pyramid carry stories, but silence hides others, like saying I'm fine when you're not. Mental health fits here. Lost tools are like buried thoughts, waiting to surface. And artificial intelligence, it's like these wonders impressive, but built on human ideas we don't always see. As we close, what does this legacy mean to you? Is it proof of ancient smarts or just clever work? It's like a clear day that feels off, or a moment that shifts your view. What's something in your life that seemed too advanced for its time? Share it in the comment side. Love to hear from you. If this mystery lit a spark, give this video a like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more journeys into the unknown. Let's keep chasing these riddles together, one tool at a time. Silent sand chamber. What if a hidden chamber deep inside the Great Pyramid, filled with secrets of ancient Egypt, has been found but left untouched for years? The silent sand chamber theory centers on a mysterious space beneath the pyramid, detected by scans but still unexplored today. That's a mystery that pulls you in, right? It's like finding a locked door in your house, knowing something's behind it, but never getting the key. Why leave it unopened? Have you ever stumbled across a secret place or story that felt just out of reach? Share your thoughts or where you're watching from in the comments. Let's unravel this together. This feels like expecting a sunny day but getting fog, or studying for a test only to face a different topic. It's a paradox that makes you question what's hidden. In this video, we'll explore this silent chamber, what it might mean, and how it connects to our beliefs, our words, and even the technology we use today. With a calm and thoughtful tone, let's dive into this puzzle step by step. If you're hooked by mysteries that tease the unknown, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more tales that spark wonder. Now, let's peer into the shadows of this chamber. In the 2010s, scans using cosmic rays found a large void under the Great Pyramid, near the King's Chamber, possibly a hidden room filled with sand or air. It's big, about the size of a small house, but no one's opened it. Some say it's to protect the pyramid from damage. Others think it's about controlling what we learn. It's like a friend starting a story, then stopping before the good part. In life, we face this to ever been close to solving a puzzle. Like a tricky problem, only to hit a wall. This chamber suggests secrets are being kept. Belief shapes what we explore. If we fear what's inside, we might leave it alone. Words like pyramid carry tales, but silence hides others, like saying I'm fine when you're not. Mental health fits here, and open chambers are like buried thoughts, waiting to be faced. An artificial intelligence. It's like those scans revealing, but guided by human choices. As we close, what does this silent chamber mean to you? Is it a treasure waiting or a truth avoided? It's like a cloudy day that feels clear, or a moment that shifts your view. What's a secret you felt was just out of reach? Share it. In the comments, I'd love to hear from you. If this mystery lit a spark, give this video a like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more journeys into the unknown. Let's keep chasing these riddles together, one chamber at a time. Eclipse Tower echoes. Every so often, the sky goes dark in broad daylight, and for a few minutes, everything feels different, still, quiet, like the world is holding its breath. Most of us have seen or heard about solar eclipses. Maybe you've stood under one, feeling that strange coolness in the air, and wondering how something so cosmic could feel so personal. Now picture this. There's a mysterious tower, ancient, weathered, carved from stone, that aligns exactly with these rare celestial events, not randomly, not once by accident, but consistently, like it was designed with a secret calendar in mind. Long before telescopes, before satellites, before even modern maps, someone built a structure that could track the shadows of the sun and moon with uncanny precision. What kind of mind was behind that? And more importantly, why this isn't a myth? Researchers have found evidence of an ancient tower that seems to react, almost like a silent observer, only during total eclipses. At first, the alignment was thought to be coincidence. But over time, too many patterns showed up to ignore. Sunlight at specific angles, shadows cast along narrow corridors, light filling a chamber only during the eclipse's peak. All of it too exact to be accidental. And yet, strangely, there are no records, no writings, no carvings left behind to explain why it was built or who built it. It's like someone wanted it to be understood only by watching, not by reading, not by listening, by seeing what happens when the heavens move. Maybe you've experienced something similar in your own life. Think about when you prepared for a big exam. You didn't just read the book. You waited for the signs that your mind was ready when your thoughts felt still and focused. Or think about a moment in a relationship when nothing needed to be said, but a look, a small action, told you everything. That's the kind of silent message this tower seems to carry. It doesn't shout its purpose. It whispers through shadows and silence. It's not about what you note, about what you notice. This leads to a deeper question. What did the builders believe? Were they simply studying the stars? Or was this part of something more personal, something sacred? The term private astronomy may sound odd today, but for ancient people, watching the skies wasn't just science. It was spiritual. Celestial events were moments of meaning where gods and time seemed to touch. Eclipses weren't random. They were messages, reminders that everything moves, everything passes, and sometimes the most powerful forces show up quietly and leave quickly. Just like emotions, just like memories, the eclipse tower also reminds us of how much we forget. Today, we scroll through data, flood our minds with news, facts, trends, but ancient structures like this one speak through patience. You don't get their message unless you return again and again. You have to stand still and wait. That's hard in today's world. We want answers fast. But maybe that's why this tower still matters. It slows us down. It forces wonder. And isn't wonder what drives us in the first place? When we were children, we looked at the moon and made wishes. We drew stars on our notebooks. We dreamed of flying. We asked the kind of questions adults forget how to ask. This ancient tower, this silent observer of the sky, brings that childlike curiosity back. It invites us to look up again, not just at our phones, but at the sky, and ask, what are we missing? Some believe the tower might have been part of a forgotten science. Others think it was a quiet temple for a lost belief. But one idea rises above them, all that whoever built it wasn't just marking time. They were feeling time, living inside it, listening to the rhythm of light and shadow as if it were music only they could hear. And now, centuries later, we're the ones leaning in, trying to catch a note of that forgotten song. Have you ever been in a moment where time seemed to stop? Like watching the last sunlight of the day from a window, or walking in early morning fog where everything feels slower, softer. That's the feeling this place carries. And if you've ever stood beneath the sky and felt small but also deeply connected, then you already understand more than you think. So now, I'd like to hear from you. Have you ever seen something in nature, something ordinary, like a shadow or a reflection that made you pause and feel something deep, something ancient? Let us know in the comments, because just like this tower, your stories connect sky and soul in ways we're still trying to understand. If this story moved something in you, if it made you think, feel, or wonder, please like this video and subscribe. Let's keep uncovering these quiet echoes from the past together, one mystery, one moment, one shadow at a time. Forgotten knowledge echo. What if the secrets behind Egypt's most famous monuments weren't Egyptian at all, at least not originally? What if they were echoes of a deeper wisdom, passed down like a quiet whisper through generations, until only the stones remembered? This question might sound strange at first, but it keeps coming up every time someone takes a closer look at the pyramids, temples, or ancient carvings. There's a feeling shared by both experts and everyday explorers that Egypt's marvels didn't just appear fully formed, that maybe, just maybe, they were built on something older, something lost. Have you ever felt like you were repeating something someone else once taught you, even if you didn't know where it came from? That's the feeling many get when they study Egypt's ancient structures, like someone left behind a set of instructions, but in silence. Maybe you've seen this in your own life. Think of when you solve a problem without knowing exactly how you figured it out, pulled knowledge from somewhere deep beyond memory. But maybe it happens when a melody comes to you out of nowhere, something you've never heard, but it feels familiar. The idea of forgotten knowledge isn't just about history, it's about all the invisible ways we carry things from the past without realizing it. And maybe Egypt's massive achievement, stonework so precise it confuses modern engineers. Alignment so perfect they trace the stars aren't just signs of Egyptian brilliance. Maybe they're footprints from something older that helped Egypt rise. Across the world, there are monuments and ruins that seem to echo one another, even though they're oceans apart. Giant stones stacked with impossible accuracy, designs that seem to copy the sky, mythologies that talk about floods, stars, and beings who taught humans to build, write, and understand time. It's tempting to call it coincidence, but at a certain point, when the patterns keep repeating, you have to wonder, were these civilizations all starting from scratch? Or were they remembering something handed down from a time before memory, before writing? Egypt may have preserved that knowledge better than most. It had the river, the Nile, that kept its soil rich. It had a system of writing that lasted for thousands of years. But what if even Egypt didn't invent what it knew? What if it inherited it? Like someone waking up in a house full of strange tools and learning how to use them without ever knowing who first made them. That might explain why Egyptian culture seems to appear so suddenly, so complete, with advanced architecture, calendars, medicine, and math right from the beginning. Not slowly developed, but remembered. You've probably had moments when something felt too detailed, too exact to be made up. Like a dream that knows more than you do, or a conversation that touches something deep inside. That's the kind of strange familiarity many people feel when they stand before the pyramids, as if the stones are speaking a language we used to know. Maybe not with words, but with shape, direction, sound, and silence. This is where the idea of lost wisdom becomes more than a theory. It becomes a reflection of how we treat knowledge today. In a world moving fast, where we update, upgrade, and replace things constantly, the idea of ancient people holding answers we still don't fully understand can feel both humbling and refreshing. It reminds us that intelligence doesn't always look modern, that sometimes the oldest truths are the most quietly powerful. And maybe we haven't lost them entirely. Maybe they're just sleeping beneath the surface, waiting for us to pay attention again. So I want to ask, have you ever felt like you've touched something ancient, even for a moment? Maybe in a quiet walk among old trees, or in the stillness of a room where history once lived. Maybe you've had a thought, an idea, a dream that felt older than you. That's the echo this point carries. Not an answer, but a resonance, feeling that we're connected to something much bigger, something long forgotten but not fully gone. Let us know in the comments if you've ever felt something similar. And if this idea moved something inside you, please like the video and subscribe. We're building a space here for quiet wonder, thoughtful curiosity, and shared stories from every corner of the world. Together, we can keep following the faint trail of those echoes, wherever they lead next. History's hidden truth. What if the truth about where we came from isn't lost but hidden? Not lost in the sense of forgotten by time, but hidden in the way secrets are buried, protected, or simply ignored. And not hidden by nature, but by people who choose what gets studied, what gets published, and what questions are allowed to be asked. Think about that for a second. We live in an age of information. You can search for almost anything, anytime. But when it comes to the oldest and most important questions, like who built the pyramids, where civilization really began, or how certain ancient knowledge appeared so suddenly, the answers always seem a little fuzzy, a little too certain in places where there should still be debate. It makes you wonder, are we looking at history's puzzle, or just the pieces someone decided to show us? Have you ever been told a version of a story that felt too neat, too polished? Maybe in school, at work, or in a relationship. And then later, you learned a piece of that story was missing a small detail that changed everything. That's how more and more people are starting to feel about ancient history. Like the big picture has been simplified, edited, curated, not necessarily with bad intentions, but with a kind of quiet pressure to protect the official story, to keep things orderly, predictable, easy to teach, easy to control. But real history, it's rarely that clean. And the more we look beneath the surface, the more strange and beautiful things we find. There are temples deep underground that don't match the time period they're supposed to. There are maps showing Antarctica without ice, long before satellites existed. There are tools and carvings found in places that shouldn't have had metal, geometry, or astronomy. And while some archaeologists are curious, others seem to close the door, not just to wild theories, but to questions themselves. Why would anyone do that? Is it fear of being wrong? Fear of losing control over the story? Or maybe it's just Easier to defend what we think we know than to admit we might be standing on top of something far older and far stranger than we ever imagined. In your own life, you've probably experienced this in smaller ways. Maybe you tried asking tough questions once and got brushed off. Maybe you felt something in your heart that didn't match what the world was telling you and it left you confused. But eventually, you realize some truths take time to uncover. They don't shout, they whisper. They hide not because they're false, but because we're not ready to hear them. And history's hidden truth feels like that, like a voice just beneath the noise, waiting for us to notice. This hidden truth isn't just about dates and monuments. It's about identity, about where we come from. And if we don't fully understand our past, how can we know who we really are? How can we make peace with the future if the foundation of our story is incomplete? That's why uncovering these secrets matters. Not for thrill or mystery alone, but because truth brings clarity. It brings connection. It brings healing. And maybe the most important part, brings humility. Because the more we learn about the past, the more we realize how much we still don't know. And that's not a weakness. That's what makes the journey worth taking. So I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever visited a place or seen a structure that gave you that feeling, that quiet hum of mystery, like it was holding something back? Or maybe you've read something that challenged what you thought was true, and it stayed with you. Share your experience in the comments. And if you found something in this story that made you pause, wonder, or even just breathe a little slower, please like this video and subscribe. You're not alone. We're building a community of thoughtful minds, curious hearts, and quiet seekers, people who believe that even the oldest questions still deserve new eyes. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay safe and stay curious.